not harping, Bill. I'm being completely honest with you.
Well, I'm being completely honest too.
Do you have any? Do you have any reason to believe that I would lie? Why would I be?
We're not really sharing that at this point.
I don't know why you would, but I told you the truth, so I'm sticking to my story.
In April of 2021, Dee Warner disappeared from Lenawee County, Michigan. She was a wife, a mother, and a businesswoman. But by that weekend, her marriage to Dale Warner was under serious strain, and according to public case records, she had been planning to discuss the future of their relationship. When Dee was reported missing, investigators were left with a narrow window of time, unanswered questions, and a husband who was now central to understanding what happened. Early conversations with Dale focused on the problems in the marriage, the night before Dee vanished, and the timeline investigators were trying to build. At first, this was a missing person case, but as detectives looked closer, every detail began to matter. What was said, what was left out, and whether the story matched the evidence. Now, investigators sit down with Dale Warner as they try to separate explanation from truth. This is the interrogation of Dale Warner.
You'll figure what's the first slide, then post everything, so you start all over again. So
It's here before you know it.
that's still take on.
Like the car.
Oh, thank you, bud.
Yep.
Now we're dealing with all the circus and crap that's going on again. You know, now they're posting pictures of minor.
Oh, I didn't know about that. No.
Oh, they're posting them on Christmas trees with me, and now they're using a website to exploit her and raise money and get pictures. So,
Do you watch the podcast still?
I don't watch either.
No, I guess I was the most recent focus of attention. Not the good.
They said they were trashing you guys. They trashed. I mean,
they've got the
Fancy?
if you don't agree with Greg and
it's just an email I sent it to her guardian ad litem.
Okay.
I said, listen, you're the guardian ad litem. You gotta contact these people and take care of them. They're represented by an attorney. I can't contact them. But yeah, I mean, they're trying to, Greg Hardy's trying to raise money. But
just for my daughter.
posting pictures all over the internet. Anyway, oh yeah, you and I have been the focus of podcasts. All this other stuff. It's just a mess.
Feel he losing about as much sleep over as I am.
Actually, zero.
No, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. You and I are about the same boat there, I think.
I'm like, come on, guys, really.
Yeah.
And I've dug into this guy's background. It's Bill Little. He's a weirdo. He is. I mean, he's never been in a case where he actually caught anything.
Yeah.
And his real modus operandi is to come into town, stir things up, and to create these, circumstances that are just total baloney.
Mm-hmm.
Just total. It's all about raising money for this podcast and this guy. What's that guy's name?
Yeah.
Which it's all to raise money for their podcast.
Yeah. I'm happy to hear you guys speaking of this way, because I told you initially, we couldn't be further from them. We're not a part of that. We don't buy into it. We don't feed nothing. It's, I was almost happy in a way. His most recent episode spoke of me so negatively. So it's not some show we're putting on. Like, I don't like them. They don't like me. And I want that to be clear. We're not fueling this brigade against you publicly.
Well, it feels different to me sometimes, but that's just because of the circumstance that they're creating.
I understand that. Sir, I can't be more clear with you. We have nothing to do with that. We were told point blankly by them that when we took it over, that was a concern of ours, that, the show they put on, I mean, literally and metaphorically, we were told it was going to stop. And unfortunately, they didn't keep their word. And there's nothing, he's probably explained to you, we have no control over that. That's a freedom of speech thing. They can do whatever they want. I can't stop that, unfortunately.
And I couldn't get away with saying a lot of things that they're saying.
Well, and Dan, like, he would love to respond. He would love to say, whatever.
It doesn't do you any good. It doesn't do you any good.
Wasn't doing him any good. And
no different than it would when they attacked our apartment. Wouldn't do us any good.
Well, then you stoop to their level, and you're whatever.
Yeah.
But it hurts.
Yeah. Completely. Well, I've never been in your shoes, but I could empathize with that. Yes.
Until you're in a person's shoes like myself, you never understand.
I'm sure.
You know, that's what always goes through my head is, you know, what Dee always told me about her brother. And I could never understand how she could tell me things like that. I understand her 100% now.
Yeah, now you've seen the other side. Yeah.
Because I was the one that always pushed her to fight them down for Christmas, Thanksgiving. You know, she wanted to sue him because her parents passed away. He was the, you know, guardian over the power of attorney. He changed all the paperwork, so she got nothing.
Oh wow, I hadn't
She
heard that
got
before.
nothing. She got not one penny.
Was there a lot of money there?
You know,
And then-
$1 million farming operation down the road, and she was supposed to get a percentage of it, a portion of it. She was promised property. And I told her, you know, I feel horrible now. So I told her, it's not worth it. Why destroy the family over money and land?
Yeah.
But I didn't understand until later. You know, and it's unbelievable. And I feel horrible now because, you know, after the fact, I feel responsible because I invited them down to the house and I could never understand. So she started drinking and act. Just, what the hell's going on? Why are you acting like this, Dee? It all makes sense now.
Hmm.
You know, she got to the point where she did not trust men. You know, I feel guilty as hell for that. It's not your fault, Dale. You didn't know.
Yeah.
But that doesn't help. It doesn't.
Did you learn that?
He won't flat out tell me stuff.
Right.
It's client privilege, but, you know, he'll point me in directions and I'll look back and think, you know, what went on. You know, and he said, you need to go get the book Walking on Eggshells, Dale, and read his book. And I went and got it, and I'm like, oh my God, this is my wife 100%.
Hmm.
He says, yeah, your wife is a high functioning borderline personality disorder. And you didn't know. And she was slowly destroying you. And you didn't know because she always had to be in control. And you look at that, you read it, and you go, oh my God, this is unbelievable. But it's just, you know,
Yeah, the whole circumstance with your family and the whole thing is unfortunate. This incident happened, and now everything after that is not necessary. You know.
yeah, well, I kind of blame some of this justice for Dee and that on law enforcement, just because of the tactics and the things you guys do to try and get the truth.
Hmm.
I mean, Kevin lied to a lot of people at first, which law enforcement you can to get information you need, and he lied to a lot of the family members.
Oh, what? Can you tell me specifically? I'm here
Well,
listening
he
for
went
the
to
first time.
family members that he knew that I did something to Dee.
Ah,
So when you tell my stepkids that you know that Dale did something to his wife, who are they going to believe? They going to believe Dale anymore, or are they going to believe Kevin Greca?
right.
That was the turning point. They all turned against me. This
Yeah.
was like 6 months after the fact.
Hmm.
I mean,
Okay.
we'd been getting along, tolerating each other. Was able to see them, you know, when we were just biting our tongues and trying to get through it, waiting for mom to come home.
Yeah.
And as soon as he went around and started saying that, it was over. So, I mean, I blame a lot of that on him, but
Yeah.
he's doing his job, you know.
Well, based on how things ended with the sheriff's department, unfortunately, a lot of our questioning today are things that you've answered and things that, because you've already answered, we know that the answers to them. But it's important that we're asking them because we need to remove the sheriff's department. Does that make sense? So we need to hear it firsthand from Dale. So
I mean, I'll do the best I can to answer questions, but I mean,
I get it.
we're almost 2 years after the fact.
Yeah, and some of the specifics, because we've been able to watch, we watch all the videos numerous times of you, specifically in audio, we can prompt you and say, well, you said this before X, Y, Z. Does that make sense? And along those lines, you can appreciate, I just want to be clear.
Totally.
Yeah, we need to hear it from Dale. So if at some point you want us to leave, you can talk, just say that. But I just don't want to be adversarial with you today. That's all.
I will just, Dan, from the minute I began to represent Dale, I said, listen, you got a decision to make. I said, my position is
be as transparent as possible. Offer up everything that you have
Mhm.
so that they can conduct their investigation and do it properly. And then your conscience is free and you're good. So everything that we've done, every interview we've done, every meeting we've had with law enforcement has always been, Dale's free to speak. And I'm not going to interrupt him. I'm not going to get involved, but
I appreciate that. And the reason why I say that up front is I don't want us to become adversarial in the middle of it, that's all.
I believe him. I believe everything he's told me. I've been doing this almost 30 years. I've had clients who lied to me, as most lawyers will tell you. But I think I've been in this for quite a long time now, and I've seen the facts. And unfortunately for Dee's families, facts are stubborn things. And he's an innocent guy. He's just a good person who cares a lot about his family and has done all the right things. And I'm like, Dale, I've been through this. It will be over at some point. And, hopefully with meeting with you guys and having this cleared the air, and, maybe you guys can come out and make a statement and say, hey, we've done everything we can do. Right now, it's a missing person case. Dale's no longer a person of interest. And we're just going to, until we find something or hear about something or know something, we're going to put this to bed until we do. And I think that he and I and everybody would feel a lot more comfortable if we could accomplish that. I think it would be really good.
Yeah, the rest of the family, we've so what we essentially have done, Dale, we started interviewing people that were there that day, and so really the only people we made contact are the adult children and now you, and there's reasons for that, but the reason I bring that up is they've asked us to do similar things but the opposite, and our explanation is always, as a department, we don't make public statements regarding a person of interest or a suspect or a person that's believed missing or deceased. We just investigate. So the Billy Little clan and other people can do what they want, but if you were to contact, we have a public information officer, a lieutenant in charge of making public statements. If you were to call them right now and ask them for a statement, they would probably say something to the effect of the investigative team is working diligently and the results will speak for themselves. We just don't make statements like that, unfortunately. I can appreciate your sentiment, but because then it becomes political, and then, well, you said this a week ago, and now you're saying, so as a rule of thumb, we just don't do it.
We would just like to be able to put this thing to bed at least.
You and me both, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, I would like to be able to shut down Billy Little and those guys and say, well, listen.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
So,
We tried. We haven't been able to.
As far as our team goes, the state police have put myself and my partner, Detective Sergeant Singleton, on this case full time. We have a third detective that's on it full time, and then we have a number of other people that are working depending on their specialty in and out, essentially. So the resources and time you put forth are tremendous. I'm not saying that to boast. I'm saying that we're just taking it very seriously. Scott has a lot of time on. He's been on for almost 25 years. And in his time, he can only recall one other instance where he allocated resources like this to one specific case. So when I say that we're on this full time, I mean, this sounds corny, but I've been ordered. This is all I'm allowed to work on. He's been ordered. This is all he's allowed to work on. Does that make sense? So you can, obviously you have our information. You're free to interface with us as much as you like. The third detective we have on, he's not going to be accessible to the public, and that's intentionally. We can kind of leave him behind the curtain, and he can just work on whatever he's working on. That isn't in any way to be secretive intentionally. That's just so he can be focused on his assignments, essentially. So
I know too, you've talked to who is
my partner has, yeah.
okay. Fill you in on some of the financial stuff that maybe Dale or I may not be able to fill you in on.
Yeah.
And you're free to talk to him too.
Okay,
Great.
He is he's a transparent guy. You probably know his history. I can tell you all about it because I represented him years ago. It was nothing about anything that you're reading. 99% of the time, my guess is that it's going to be overturned by the Court of Appeals. His case is pending right now in the Michigan Court of Appeals, and they're going to overturn it. The Oakland County Prosecutor's Office has basically mailed it in. So
okay.
I can tell you he's an innocent guy. There's nothing. Basically, what happened was he was the CFO of a company that went into some financial trouble, and the owner of the company blamed a couple of things that went wrong. And when you're the CFO and you're holding the bag, it doesn't look good to your investors. And there was some stuff that was manipulated in order to bring that case to trial, and he was acquitted on everything except one count that was completely unreasonable, and the jury shouldn't have had it anyway. And anyway, it was a big misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it is now brought out to this massive. But I will say this: good guy. He's down to earth. He's very knowledgeable. He certainly knows what's going on with the books and records here. He's been pretty comfortable talking to anybody that asks questions, and he's provided all the information that I've needed in order to respond to some of these things that the conservator has.
Okay.
He's the one that actually found all the stuff on, to misappropriate funds and move stuff around, and he's got all that information. So the only reason I'm saying is feel free to talk. He's a very competent, down-to-earth guy. Give you what you need.
Okay.
And Dee and I both were aware of history or record when we hired him the first time.
Okay.
So it's not like it was a secret.
Okay.
I'm aware.
There are a few topics we're going to cover with you today, kind of the business overall, your relationship with Dee, things that happened that day. So we might be jumping around a little bit, but to kind of start from the beginning, just to learn a little bit more about you, can you tell me about how you became involved in farming and kind of what your history is? Okay. How did that begin? Because your father's a farmer too, right?
Yeah, I farmed with my father for several years, and my brother and my grandfather.
Okay.
We milk cows. That's how it started.
And then when you had met Dee, you were working for a company, right?
I was working for Crop Production Service.
I know they changed their name. Is it Nutrient now?
Nutrient now.
Okay. And so how did you go from farming with that to working there? Can you describe that a little bit?
I was farming with my father. We was milking cows and crop farming. I was married to my first wife at the time, and we were just having differences of opinion on how to manage our own farming operation. My brother wanted to, come into the farming operation. He was working with us. He did not want to take on any of the financial responsibilities. As far as having a depot put in his name, he just wanted to be able to say, yeah, let's buy this, let's do this deal.
Okay.
And we'd be okay with that. And I didn't agree with that at all. I mean, if you want to have a say in what's going on, you got to have some skin in the game.
Absolutely.
And he didn't want to, and Dad didn't, agree with the way I looked at it. So we split. Dad bought me out. I left and kept farming what I had, previously been farming or that I had that I owned. And before that, I moved to another house. We moved over to non-city across from her parents' house. And we were living there and farming. And when I was with Dad, I was looking for more. I was always the one that was looking for more business opportunities, things to grow or to do. We tried doing some trucking. Dad and brother did really well doing that. It's just taking my time. They felt away from the cattle operation.
Okay.
So the trucking didn't go over well. I did all the spraying and everything on the farm. So I was very knowledgeable in the spraying and application. I was doing some spraying for other people with the sprayer equipment that we had. I left Dad and started farming on my own basically, and was living in Onstead and was looking at doing more ground and doing more things. Well, another gentleman I knew throughout my life was the manager of Nutrient, and he was the manager on crop production. And he approached me and asked me if I'd be interested in, coming to work for them. And I said, not really. I'm going to buy my own sprayer and do my own thing. Well, they started passing around some numbers and stuff, and what they come back with it was, Dad, tell us what you want, you have it. So I threw them a number, and I thought it was way high, and they took it. Says, the only thing is you're going to have to work in Saline, because I don't need you in Lisbon. So I started to work in Saline at crop production, even though I did all my farming on the side. And I was set up to do sales and application. And so a salary. And I would work 100 hours a week, being salary, and then the first season rolls around, slow time, they lay me off. I'm thinking, you laying me off? What the f***? My salary, I just put in 100 hours a week for the last 4 months, and now you're laying me off. So that didn't go over real well with me, but I stuck it out. I learned the business, and I didn't like the way they treated people. I mean, you're just a number. You know, go sell this to him whether he needs it or not, because their mentality was, if you don't sell this, we're not going to stay in business. And if the farmer goes out of business, is gone, who cares? There'll be somebody else that takes his spot. Well, I didn't really like that at all. You know, I'm here to help you make money, and if you make money, then I in return will make money.
Right.
So, you know, I stuck it out, stayed there, working part-time and doing different things. We had our 4 kids. And Dee was my competition. She worked at Royster Clark, which was on Stein Road there in Tecumseh.
Mm-hmm.
So we had pretty much a rivalry between the two of us.
Had you known each other prior?
We knew each other prior because growing up we had dairy cows. I mean, her parents had cows, milk cows.
Oh, okay.
We had cows, and we showed at the fair. So it was a competition thing. You know, our whole lives competition between us. So she was working at Royster Clark. I was doing my farming and with crop production. And then what was it here? As we went along, it was the thing is, you know, I'd go around, take all of her customers, and she'd be pissed, and you know, jump up and down. And I was raising seed corn at the time, and they had a machine that we didn't have at crop production. I couldn't spray the corn because the machine wasn't tall enough. And at work, they're all giving me a hard time. You'll never go. I says, I'm going to go over there and have them go spray my field. They're like, you won't do that. You don't have balls in the corner. So I went in there, and she's at the counter, and I walked up and I says, hey, I got a field over here, seed corn, I need you to spray. She didn't recognize me because she hadn't seen me in so long. She didn't know who I was. So we're standing at the counter, and I'm like, I need this sprayed over here. Okay, she's writing it all down, and she was trying the hardest to figure out who the hell I was, and she couldn't do it. She didn't know. All the guys in the office knew who I was, but she didn't know. So it was kind of a real comical thing as I'm standing there, and she's writing up a spray order to come spray the competition's corn. So when I left there, then, you know, I had the order, she come, they sprayed it, and we kind of hit it off talking and doing different things, and, you know, we're having some problems marital at the time, and her were having some problems, and we kind of hit it off, and we was at the fair, you know, auction night, buying cattle and stuff. I was buying for crop production myself, and she was buying for Royster Clark, and I don't know, we kind of just hit it off and started talking back and forth, and the rest is history. And then my company, which is crop production, bought hers out, bought Royster Clark out. Well, she didn't know, but my company bought them out, and the whole plans was they were going to fire everybody after they got everything they could milk out of the company. Mm-hmm. So she came to work on board with us, and I kept my mouth shut as long as I could. That, you know, they're just using the team. They're going to get rid of you as soon as they got what they want. And, you know, it's in the back of my mind, I didn't like I said, how they're treating people and all this stuff. Well, I've been there for 3 years now, so I've learned basically the business of what to do, what licenses I need. Mm-hmm. They trained their next competition. So from there, we split off and started our own. And we did very well the first 5-6 years, you know, and we made a lot of money.
You're referring to spraying for your own customer base?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we started our own fertilizer and chemical company out.
Right.
I did.
Okay.
And we were still farming. And from the relationships that I built at crop production and over the years with spraying, and, you know, you do a good job, they remember it. So you call back. So we built a lot of relationships, and there's a gentleman that we did a lot of stuff with. Dee knew him, and I knew him well too. He got cancer, and he was farming 70,000 acres. And I just went over and helped. I didn't charge him. I just, whatever I got to do. Mm-hmm. When he passed away, he left me all the time.
Oh, okay.
So
I didn't realize that.
That's how we gained all of our acreage that we gained.
Okay.
Early on. I mean, he told his wife that Dale needs to take over all the contracts that we had for the land. So, I mean, that was a big boost in the arm. So,
okay.
We gained a lot of ground.
If I could back you up a little bit, just more towards the beginning, you and Dee get together, and there was some property at Munger. She had that property from her dad, right?
Well, it didn't come from her dad. She bought it in an auction. The farm had been bought by a school teacher. Okay. And I guess he lost it mentally or did something. Well, the farm went up for auction.
Oh, okay.
And Dee went over there to the auction, and unbeknownst to she buys it, and he comes home and finds out, well, he bought a farm today, so he was not real happy that she just spent $400,000. He's like, I'll pay for this.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
this is what he told me after the fact. I didn't know this at the time.
Okay. And outside of that land, was there any? You said you were doing some farming on your own. What did your property look like prior to inheriting property?
I mean, acre-wise,
Yeah. What was your?
I was farming close to probably 1,500 acres.
Okay.
Picked up. I was farming basically my partner or my person that was helping me at this time.
Okay.
You know, he basically was trying to do everything by himself. I was doing everything by myself. So we went together and it worked great. He's an older guy. He's in his 70s. I still work his property today. He's retired basically. He just comes out and drives around. Does a good job, Dale. Goes back to the house. So
Small disclaimer: we went slow down a couple times. Scott and I grew up in the city, so most of the time we have no idea what you're talking about. So if I slow you down for a part, I'm not insulting you. I'm making fun of myself.
It's like the Neil Young song, "This Old Man."
Yeah.
no, it's you know, it was crop farming, raising corn, soybeans.
Okay.
Is what we do. And you know, Dee and I seen the niche that when they're telling me to sell something to somebody that they don't need it, I mean, I'm here to help you make money. In return, I'll make money. And that's basically how I got where I'm at today. I mean, I have not as many guys now, but you know, they just say, Dale, don't do it. We don't care. We don't want to know the prices. Just do it because they know that I'm going to make them money.
Yeah. You're gonna do what needs to be done, and
right. I'm going to treat.
Yeah.
They says we know you're going to treat our property just like you treat your own. That's why you're here. Yeah, that's a good feeling.
Absolutely.
But, so,
Or it's the competitors would try to like, I guess, upsell them things that they don't need. Is that what?
well, they're there to make money, and I mean, we all got to make money. It's just I can only sell you what you can afford because I want you there the next year.
Right.
Where the competition don't care because they look at it this way: somebody else is going to take your ground and they'll sell to them.
Yeah.
So get what you can. And
Yeah.
when the president of crop production came out and told me that, I'm like, I'm all done with you, man. This is not me.
Wow.
You know, I'm an old school guy. I don't need a contract. Your word, handshake, that's gold. You know, and it's burned me a lot of times. But you know what? Them people weren't worth dealing with because if their word was no good, I don't need to deal with them.
Okay.
So
I appreciate that.
But you know, we just kept moving forward. There wasn't anything that Dee and I couldn't accomplish I mean, you work hard. If you're struggling, you work harder. And we get through it. So we built our empire basically together. We bought Dee Russell's vegetable farm. That was the biggest mistake in our lives.
Can you talk to us a little more about that?
We're looking at buying ground. We're gaining ground. This parcel came up for sales. They weren't out publicly telling people, but behind the scenes they were wanting to get rid of it. And it was around 2,000 acres. It was 1,500 acres at the main farm and plus additional ground. We went up and talked to them, and I penciled everything out. We could make money doing it. So we talked to them into a land contract. They were supposed to stay on for 3 years and work with us to help us get transitioned because I'd be like, you guys run a vegetable farm. I had no freaking idea.
I'm sure you'd be doing a little better off than us, but
I penciled all out, make it doing corn and soybeans. So, you know, and Dee's like, you know, we got to do vegetables. And she talked me to the vegetable side, keeping all people on it, which, you know, after the fact turned into a nightmare. But I mean, we sunk millions of dollars into this place to get it going. And Dee Russell's, I mean, we should have done better with our contracts and different things as far as making sure they would stay on. Quit like 2-3 months after we got started. He's the one that did all the trucking and selling to the market. Quit about 9 months after the first harvest. Passed up around for about 1.5 years, and he quit. It's like, I don't know how to do this.
Mm-hmm.
So we tried, and it was an epic fail. But now hindsight, I look back as why it failed. You can always look back and point the finger at everyone else why it failed. Ultimately, it was my fault. I made a piss poor decision when I bought it, and it all goes back on me. But the problem is, you know, my business partner that worked with me, unbeknownst to me, was funneling money out at an astonishing pace. And she was getting hungrier and hungrier and bolder and bolder. And I didn't even, that was my wife. I trust her 100%,
Right.
you know? And I look back now and we went to Detroit Market where they sell produce and stuff over there, guys. You know what I'm talking about over Detroit where they sell the produce?
Yeah.
It's all cash money.
Like the farmer's market, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all cash money. I don't have any receipts showing any cash money put into any of my accounts. Where'd money all go?
I see. Yeah, we definitely want to get in the financial stuff.
What time
we do
is
some
it?
questions there, but
There's a point in time. How far do you go back? And we're not going to get any money back. It's gone. You know, but I mean, how much more money do you throw at money that's gone? Okay, yeah, they took it. It's gone. Let's move forward.
if I could back you up just a little bit, when you had separated from your dad and your brother, or however you want to phrase that, was there any love lost there, or was your relationship?
Lovely.
Yeah. What did that relationship look like moving forward? Were you on good terms with your dad in a short amount of time, or how did that look?
We didn't do any business with them for years and years. I mean, we talked, got together for Christmas, but it was bad. I mean, I think my dad still has resentment toward me for leaving. But, you know, hindsight, it was the hardest thing I ever did in my life. You know, I worked there, put my whole 25 years of my life in before I left, everything into it, and I had to walk away. And, you know, I didn't get anything for a sweat equity or anything I put in to build the place. I mean, I go over there today and milking parlor and all this stuff. I built all that 20-some years ago.
Yeah.
You know, I did it. Did I get anything out of it? I mean, all the milking equipment was in my name. I left. It was all leased. Did I get it? No, it's there. But it's my family, so.
What was your relationship like overall with your parents? Was your dad someone you admired growing up?
My dad was my
Wanted to work
best
for?
buddy in my wedding. The first
Okay.
wedding. My dad was my best friend. It was the hardest thing I did in my life.
I see. And in contrast, how was your relationship with him now in comparison to how it was then?
It was the best man in my second wedding too.
Okay.
So, I mean, we made amends. It's just, you gotta be able to separate business and family. It's hard to do, but we did. Dee was a hard person to get along with business-wise. And be like you do with Greg. You know, that's how she is. My dad and I, we talk about every day, you know, well, what's farming, what's going on. He's getting up in age, and I know I don't have him forever. And,
Yeah.
you know, I'm very concerned on what's going to happen there if he's gone, my brother.
Why do you say that?
He's not, my brother's a worker. He's not a financial manager. He does not know how to manage people. He just will say the wrong word. I mean, like, go do that job. It's like, can you? I mean, the wording, I mean, you guys know, it's all in the wording on people. I mean,
Yeah, especially when you're managing people.
yeah, I mean, he is a damn good worker, but he does not know how to manage people.
Yeah.
In the dairy business.
You should see him if I don't manage him right. It's terrible.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's everybody is good at something. You know, and they're poor at other things. Well, my brother's damn good at working and getting things done. I mean, my dad, my brother, and myself, we could do the work with probably 15, 20 people. Because we know, he knows what I'm thinking. He knows what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
We're there. It's a fine-tuned machine.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was a hard thing leaving. And when I'm worried about how things are going to go over there when Dad's gone, my dad and brother and I have talked about merging back together, but it's not easy working with family.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta be able to separate out. My brother and I, there's times we rolled around the field beating each other up, fighting, and next day we're working together side by side all day long. But it's hard. And so we're kind of in limbo because with Dee leaving and everything that's going on, it's put a strain on us doing anything together, putting the businesses back together, moving towards the future. Because Dee shows up tomorrow, what's that going to do to you, Dale? What's going to happen? If he doesn't show up, what's going to happen? You know, it's the unknown. It's just like, is Mom coming home tonight? I don't know. You know. So what do you tell me? What do I do?
Yeah, it's very difficult, I'm sure.
Yeah. And that's what I help you with every day. You know, And that's, I keep saying, if the Justice Committee group would just leave this fucking alone from day one, she could call or she would back by now. It's so fucking toxic here now. She's not coming back.
When you left the farm, so I just want to kind of recap, make sure I understand. You get a job with remind me Nutrient's first name.
It's crop production.
Crop production. Okay, so you work there for a while, then essentially you and Dee get together. You start farming on your own. Now you're on good terms essentially with dad and brother for the most part.
Well, there's still trust issues, I guess. My dad.
Okay.
But that's what it is.
And how's your relationship with your mother?
She still helped me. She's living at the house with me 3-4 days a week, help me with it.
Okay.
It's stressful. Mom lives in the past. She's got four houses. You'd think they'd be rental houses. They're not. She won't let anybody live in them because she's afraid they'll mess something up. So the one house is her uncle lived in. This is going to be this historical house here. The house on 50 she's got, that's where her sisters and brothers all grew up. So that's going to be the historical one here. And then the mansion house that she has over in Brooklyn, it's probably 30,000 square feet. I don't know if you guys remember, it's unbelievable.
No kidding. Where's that at?
She married, it's on Beach Road in Brooklyn. She married the gentleman that owned Ann Arbor Welding Supply and Mitchell Home Medical.
Okay.
And he sold it to his boys. It took him 18 years to build this house. It's all mason. The walls are 2-3 feet thick. I mean, it's a fortress. Wow. It's got a pool inside. It was not finished, but I mean, it's got a courtyard. You walk in there, you go, oh my God. It's almost like a hotel inside. It's all brick.
I don't think I've been by it. I'll have to drive by sometimes.
It's off the road.
You wouldn't know it.
You wouldn't know it. It looks, the outside is, they were stuccoing it. You know, you put the chicken wire stuff on there, they're going to stucco it. It's only half done because he came down with a really weird disease. It was like Parkinson's, where it affects your eyes, and they stuck it in this glands and stuff to where you couldn't swallow. So I mean, it was a really horrible death.
Oh wow!
But my mom took care of him, and he left everything to her. They got married, you know. So, but she took care of him till the end.
What's she doing with that house?
Let's just say she got 4 houses, and she well, 5 now. She lives with me, so she won't do anything.
That's a good problem to have.
I mean, she just, I said, Mom, why are you killing yourself? She mows the grass at all these houses, does all the upkeep, everything herself. Right? Mom, you're killing yourself. This is stupid.
Oh, wow.
Well, I don't want them to have this, and this, I remember my family here, and this one here is where my uncle lived, and she bought another house. The 4th house is on the corner across from where we used to live, where we grew up. The brick house, she's restoring that. I says, what are you going to do with it? Well, I'm going to live in it. I'm thinking, oh my God, she's already got 300 houses. That's mine. She lives in the past.
It's all historical. It's all memories.
Historical. It's all memories. So every day I get to hear the same story 3 and 4 times. You know, what Mom did, what Grandpa did.
Here's a real question. Do you think you're more like your mom or more like your dad?
I think I'm a combination of both.
In which way?
I think I got my work ethics and everything from my father. And I have my compassion, everything from my mom.
Okay. I think I've only spoken to your mom one time, so I've never spoken to your dad, so I don't know him at all. That's why I asked. Overall, what's going good for you in your life right now?
My daughter. She's doing well in school. We're keeping her on the right path. That's probably pretty much it. I mean, my businesses have all been destroyed by law enforcement and the neighbor down the road. So, I mean, I'm in limbo. I need you guys to release me from this hell so I can take the gloves off and go back to doing what I do.
Okay. And this sounds like a silly question. From a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, how would you rate your life right now? 1 to 10.
Probably 5.
Okay, and why do you say that?
Because my daughter is the only thing that's keeping me sane.
Okay. Do you have anyone else close to you? Like, who would you think who is your best friend if you had to say someone at this point? I know it's tough.
No one.
Okay.
I mean, you can't trust.
That's why I asked. It's probably tough right now.
You can't trust anyone.
Yeah.
You know, I would say my brother. Well, I say my dad, but he's getting up in age and he can't remember heights. You know, so he's old.
How old is that?
He's 75.
Okay.
But he's got, he's worked a life. He's probably about 200 years old for the work he's done. And,
Yeah.
That's all he knows is work. That's all he's ever done. Never taken vacation, just like my grandpa. All he does is work. How they deal with stress, he just goes work. But I'd say my brother, but I mean, I blame him. And, how else to say it? For someone that's wants to look out for you supposedly and being close to my brother, I just can't. I don't trust him, not at all.
I would say it's probably put some strain on your relationship with your brother.
A lot.
Yeah. How is he handling that, do you think?
Trying to figure out what directions. He was married, divorced. He doesn't want to go through that again. He's not married now, obviously, but he's afraid that she's going to go back to her parents and take his daughter away from him.
She's about the same age, right?
Well, yeah, she's 2 years younger than him.
Okay.
But, that was the thing. That was her best friend. They played together, and, well, that's where she was at when her mom left. She was over with my
That's right, yeah.
So, I don't know, I don't have anything, I don't want to say anything bad about the lady, but I don't have anything good to say either. My grandpa always told me, if you don't have anything good to say, don't say nothing at all.
Okay.
But, that's put a big strain on it.
Okay.
Probably who my best friend is, I really don't. That's a good question. If you'd asked me before all this, I'd say I got a lot of friends, but no.
Okay. And do you use tobacco?
No.
Do you use any drugs?
No.
Anything prescribed to you? No. How about alcohol? Consuming alcohol?
No.
Even socially, nothing.
I think I've had a drink twice in my life, 3 times.
Oh, really? Particular reason, or just not?
Weddings.
Oh, okay.
Those.
Okay.
But no, I've never had any interest in it.
Yeah. How did you feel about coming in here today?
I'm hoping that I can clear the air and you can basically be done with me.
Okay.
That's my reason I'm here.
Okay.
I mean, I think I've told you and Kevin and them, I've never had anything to hide. I mean, come out and openly talk to you and show you anything you want to see. But I don't want you to be deceptive and deceiving. I want to trust you. I want you to trust me.
I
don't want you to lie to people.
I should have opened with this. I will not lie to you. I will never lie to you.
Well, do you lie to anyone else to get information on me, though?
No.
Okay. That's what I expect.
I'll be 100% truthful with you, and I expect the same in return.
That's what you get.
Perfect.
My
Okay.
handshakes. If you're going through that door, I'll have your back.
Okay. I'm gonna hold you to that, and hold me to it also.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I am.
Yeah. And along those lines, and when we get further into the interview, there's going to be some specific questions that we ask you, and we'll get there, I promise. But sometimes it's natural in response, you'd want to say, well, show me how you know that, for instance, right? The important thing is getting information from you. There's some things we just can't share with you, and I'll explain more of that as we get to the interview, okay? I forgot to mention that earlier. So, have you ever been wrongfully accused of something?
Not that I think of.
Okay.
I mean, other than doing something to my wife. You talking prior to this? You mean?
Yeah, exactly. Nothing you can think of.
Nothing pops in my head. No.
Okay. And how do you feel about being accused now?
It's unbelievable the hurtful things that people will say.
Not true. I think I have a theory about that if I can share it with you. People have become braver over the last 15 years behind a keyboard. The things they'll say about you online, they'd never say to you if they saw you at a party. And I think it's a problem with our society, to be honest.
The name that comes to my mind.
What do you mean specifically about him?
Keyboard cowboy.
Oh, is that right?
Toughest man in the room, as long as he's on the keyboard.
I see. Okay.
Face to face, he's a little puss.
Now, correct me, but I had in the interpretation you guys had an okay relationship before everything had happened. Is that not accurate? Yeah, you specifically?
We did, but I guess I found out how he feels about me.
I see. Okay. Okay, just kind of brought things to light.
But it's just, before, we had no relationship with them. I mean, we'd see them once or twice a year. Or if they needed chemicals or fertilizer, I was their man, I was their best friend. That was it.
Yeah. And not specifically with them, but within the community, people have kind of described you in that way. If they need something, they could call you and you'd be there without asking for. But basically, you need help, I'm just there 5 at a time. So it was a similar relationship with them, is what you're saying. Is that right? Okay. And why wouldn't you do something to Dee?
She's my wife. She's my wife. I mean, I married her. She's my soulmate. I love her.
Okay. And what do you think should happen to someone that did do something there?
I'm not so sure that someone did anything to her. I think she just lied. She is with someone. I mean, she obviously had a hell of a good plan.
Okay.
She left with someone. If they did something to her, I hope they didn't. But I don't think anyone's done anything to her.
Okay. Can you, kind of in your own words, can you describe Dee to me as a person?
The most beautiful woman in the world.
And how about her personality? What can you tell me about her as a person?
She could be hot and cold.
What do you mean by that?
She could be sweet and seductive and just the nicest person in the world. And she could be Satan. All within 2 seconds.
How would you describe your marriage overall?
I would describe our marriage as a normal marriage. I mean, we had a lot of arguments and disagreements, but I mean, look at the businesses and things we were running. You're going to have disagreements on things.
Mm-hmm.
And Dee had a hard time leaving business in the office. She'd bring it home. If you didn't agree with her way of thinking, then she'd keep on you until she convinced you of what she was saying was right.
Okay. And how would you describe kind of a normal argument with her? What is that like? The two of you, you and her.
A normal argument?
Yeah. What's a typical argument like for you two?
Yeah, we'll start out. She would say I accuse her of doing something, or if I catch her, they catch her doing something. You know, she told me she was going to go pick something up and she didn't do it, but she went shopping. I say, how come you didn't get this part? You know, I had to have it. Well, you know, I was busy and I had to go do this. And by the end of the argument, she'd have it completely so far away from the part, it'd be my fault. I'd walk away going,
You're apologizing at the end?
yeah, I'm apologizing. I mean, she's a master of manipulating her own.
Are you sure you're not married to my wife? What's going on here? I got the same treatment, I
I
think.
think they're all,
That's why I've been divorced for 13 years.
I think they're all sisters in the end. I mean, you know, that was my biggest thing going to, you know, after the fact, you know, she left a couple months after. She's going, Dale, no, she left because you were getting better. You were understanding how to talk to her when you had an argument. And you have to, you know, say, okay, honey, and before I would be in the middle of something and she would argue. He says, Dale, you have to stop. You have to sit down and say, okay, what's bothering you? Let's talk about it. And I would never do that until close to before she left. And that's when I was finally, boom, the light goes on. This is what I got to do. Men are from, what is it? Men are from Mars, women are from Venus or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have to sit down and talk to her. As soon as I started doing that, she didn't know how to argue anymore. It's like, oh, shit, I'm screwed. Because I'm sitting down, okay, Dee, tell me what you're doing, what you need to do, and how we can fix it. And she didn't know how to handle it. And she just get pissed and take off and walk away or leave.
How often would that happen?
Oh, it was once or twice a week. We'd have a good argument over something.
Okay.
I mean, I shouldn't say an argument. We disagree on how to do things, or you know, where this truck is going, or who this guy's going to get done. It was always the disagreement on things that are getting done for the business.
Okay. And how often would she, to my understanding, it wasn't uncommon for her to leave for a night and go stay somewhere. How often would that happen?
That was random. I don't know.
If you had to guess, how many times a month?
Probably once or twice.
Okay. And that was
But
consistent.
it wouldn't be, you know, she would get pissed off and leave, and she'd just go to town and go shopping for the day and won't answer her phone. Or if she's really pissed off, she'd take off and go over to the house and stay for a day or two, or you didn't know. I mean, you never knew how long before she'd be back.
Okay.
So that's why I never was worried until a month or so went by it. And he was wrong because the house just took off and come back.
And before, I have a few questions for you. And again, before I ask these, some of these are just reports we have from other people. So me asking it does not mean that I think it's true. I want you to understand that, okay? And I mean that sincerely. So we have reports from different people regarding there being violence in your household historically between you and Dee. Can you describe that to us?
There's no violence. Not at all. Other than us, having a high leveled conversation back and forth with each other.
Can you describe what you mean by high levels?
Just hollering at each other. Dee would be singing the F-bomb and screaming and hollering top of her lungs at me, and I'd be hollering back at her. But there was never any violence.
And how often would those types of discussions occur?
A couple times a month probably, or just depend on if a truck got rolled over that day, or if somebody smashed something up, or what went wrong in the business.
I see. Okay. So what would you say if the person that had given us that information regarding violence in the household was here? What would you say to them?
Nobody's talking about it. He's probably going by hearsay from what someone else told him.
Okay. What can you tell us specifically about the device that was installed on Dee's car, on her Escalade? Some people have referred to it as a tracking device. What can you tell us about that?
There's nothing installed on the Escalade.
Okay, so we had received information that there was a device installed in the Escalade and that she had discovered it and it resulted in an argument between the two of you.
There's never anything. I've never had an argument over the Escalade or device in there.
Okay, do you know anything about a device in general that she felt was tracking her or something on a vehicle? Was that?
She thought I put one in the Hummer.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about that?
I put a diagnostic device you plug into it to see how it's running. If the engine will run or change anything. And she figured it was a tracking device, and I could tell where she was at.
Okay. Well, and why do you think she would feel that way?
She was paranoid. She didn't want anyone to know where she was at, what she was doing. I mean, this is me finding out after the fact.
Okay.
And the Escalade had OnStar on it, so I could tell where the Escalade was at anytime and every time.
Okay.
The last Escalade, not the first one, just the second one.
Okay. And what about there being rumors of? What would you say to that?
At the time when she left, I would say no, but now I really don't know how to answer that question.
Okay. You've had a lot of time to think about it. Do you think it was possible or do you think it was true?
I am leaning towards that it was true, but in my mind, I still want to think that my wife was true to me. And
Okay.
what else? I don't know, until she's here, before I can ask her and confront her. I guess I'm going to say she's innocent until she tells me otherwise or there's proof.
Okay. Had that been a suspicion of yours in the past, something you had confronted her on prior to this?
Never dreamed.
Looking back, were there any indicators that may have been the case back then?
Looking back, yeah, there's a lot of things that would make me question. Like I say,
What things? Can you describe them to me?
being gone for hours at a time with the vehicle, being gone. I mean, not being able to account for where you've been, or not wanting to tell me where you've been.
Okay.
So,
Anything else?
no.
Okay.
But I mean, this is all stuff that I found out in the last 3-4 months, and a lot of it maybe it's all just there's so many rumors and so much going on.
I'm sure.
Like I say, I'm not going to believe any of it until she's in front of me and I can ask her.
Several people have reported instances where you would show up to where Dee was unannounced without having direct knowledge from her where she was. Can you just explain that to us a little bit?
That's news to me.
Okay, so I can think, correct me if I'm wrong, partner, but one specific example was she was out to lunch with someone and she had made a statement about not wanting to be around you. You're having some argument or disagreement on that specific day, and you had showed up to where that lunch was occurring.
That's completely.
Okay. And again, I'm just asking what's been reported to us. I'm not saying there's any truth to it, okay? And there's a lot of things like that it's important we hear your side, because when you're only getting one side, everything can look horrible, right? So we want your input.
Yeah.
Can you think of a reason why, other than it's obvious, but can you think of a reason why someone would say that about you?
Not a clue. I mean, unless she was saying something negative about me to that person.
Okay.
And that's
I'm sorry, I missed that part.
my wife, I figured her diagnosis. That's what they do,
Okay.
is they put the other person down to everyone around.
Okay.
That's one of the characteristics. Right?
In some previous interviews and to other people, you had stated that you were not going to get divorced. But that has been a topic of discussion. Can you explain that a little bit to us?
I don't, what do you mean it's just topic of discussion?
Well, that was something that Dee had made sentiments and remarks to other people that was an interest of hers, and that you two had argued or discussed. I don't want to use the wrong word. Can you describe that to us a little bit?
Divorce was a word that we didn't bring up between each other because that was a lot of things going on. And that was one of the things that we told each other we're never going to say to each other is divorce, because that's not what neither one of us wanted as an end result. And once you say the word divorce, then you just start throwing it. It's like a word that you can't take back. If I say I hate you, well, that's in your mind now. You can't never take that back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you say I want a divorce, just because you're pissed, it's in that person's mind now forever.
Yeah, it's hard
You
to come
can't
back.
get it out. There's certain things that you don't want to cross the line and say because you can't never take them back. And that's one of those things that Dee and I had an agreement between each other. We're never going to tell each other that. And it did. It came out once in a while. But, you know, you can't, there's words that you can't say because you can't take them back. And that's the understanding of where we're at.
Okay. A couple things I didn't cover with the business, I'm sorry. Can you kind of briefly describe the business entities you currently have? I know there's a few different ones.
I guess, can you clarify?
So I know you have the essentially the farming business, and you've got buyback, which owns some property, and then you do some agricultural work and spraying, and then there's a trucking company. Can you just describe kind of the empire in its entirety?
There was Warwick Farms LLC was our farming entity. Warwick Farms Services LLC was the spraying and fertilizer custom application business. There is Buyback, which is the entity that has all the property in it. Cedar Creek Express is the company that owns all of the trucks and trailers for the trucking company. The trucking company leased all the trucks and trailers from Cedar Creek. So what do you think of? What do you want to know? What?
I just want to make sure I had a good understanding of what you had.
Okay.
I know you get a lot of things, essentially, that's all. So, and I wasn't clear on, we were familiar with buyback, and then I know that the other company owned trucks, and I'm not in the farming, so I couldn't tell you.
Yes,
One is
DDW Investments, that's the biggest, they keep claiming that I sold all the assets of DDW Investments. DDW Investments didn't own anything other than the Cadillac and Todd's pickup. That's the only two things they're owned.
I see.
Can I just interject for 1 second? You should tell them about your Warwick Farms and your DBA.
Oh,
Because that is something that has become, I think, for the conservative, an issue now, because they were never aware that Dale Warner.
I've always had Dale Warner DBA Warwick Farms from the beginning.
Okay.
And I still have, the last year and the previous year, everything is farmed in my DBA now. The LLCs are not being used. They're all still there, but everything's going through my personal name.
May I ask why?
I'm not going to deal with a conservator. I'm not going to work my ass off 20 hours a day to pay him.
Okay.
And as far as I'm concerned, them companies are all dead without me. So there's nothing there.
As far as, I'll say day-to-day responsibilities, for lack of a better term, can you describe kind of your responsibilities and Dee's responsibilities when it came to business?
Dee ran the office. I ran everything else.
Okay.
Dee's responsibility was to make sure all the bills and payments were made and everybody was paid. And mine was to make sure all the work got done. Everybody got what they needed to be. Trucks were on the road. Things got planted. Things got sprayed. I mean, that was my job.
Okay. it's our understanding Dee had expressed the interest in being done with the trucking business. Can you talk to us a little about that? Describe that to us.
I was confused on what she was talking about on being done with the trucking business, and I understand it clearly now. Is she took so much money on the company that there was no way it could survive.
Can you kind of tell us what she had told you back then about being done, so to speak?
She just kept telling me the trucking, we're done, the trucking company, we're done. So she kept saying, and I didn't understand what the hell she was talking about. And I never knew until a couple months ago, where we figured out 6 months after she left what she was talking about, because I had no clue what she was talking about. And she's saying we're done. We got a couple notices that, delinquent taxes, they're gonna garnish your wage, or, take money out, so until they call it, take your money out of the account.
Yeah.
They're gonna do that. The accounts and I would start questioning, I go, what is this? Don't worry, it's just, they missed the check, it didn't get to them on time, we got it handled. Well, hindsight, looking back, when you get one of these, it's more than just a missed check. It's just flat out not paying. So they would scramble around, pay that one that was delinquent at that moment, so that you'd be off the collection list again. And I'm thinking everything's fine and dandy. Well, it wasn't fine and dandy. Her been taking and scamming so much money out of the accounts. And it was a godsend when she got the PPP money, because that gave another shot in the arm that they could cover things up for another 5-6 months. And it was down to the point where it couldn't be covered up anymore.
I see. Okay.
And I was gonna find it, because they were gonna have to come clean. And that was her, how the trucking company's done. How am I gonna deal with it? How am I gonna tell Dale this? I mean, she was at my daughter's soccer game when she called and told me, we're all done. Thinking, 10 minutes ago, everything was fine. The day before, we just had pizza in the field, everything was great. What has changed? What's happened?
Tell us more about that conversation.
Which one?
When she was at the soccer game and called you.
She called me, it was 9 or 10 in the morning, she was at the soccer game, and I says, I think we were tying one in the field in Tipton. And my phone rings, and I says, I gotta take this, it's Dee. Because I figured she's calling to tell me how she's doing at the soccer game. And she was very upset, and she says, we're all done, I got into a tie, we're all done. She hung up. That's it. And she wouldn't answer my calls all day long. So I'm in complete limbo thinking, what in the hell's going on?
Okay. We'll come back. I have a couple other questions for you. Brewing business. What year did things go negative with the vegetable farm? Was that in?
It was the year after we bought it. We went through, I think 14 is when we bought it, so it was like in 15.
Okay.
And a lot of things went bad there, because when we purchased it, Do Russell's, the people we purchased from, told us they had contracts for potatoes and different things for the next year. And they didn't. So we grow all this stuff and there's no contracts.
Ah, okay. And then talk to us a little about your finances leaving that. What did that look like?
Financing when we left Do Russell's?
Yeah, your overall, the company and your business finances.
Oh, business finances were in turmoil. I mean, we lost, oh God, close to probably $20 million up there. I mean, we put hundreds of thousands of dollars in redoing the buildings and redoing all the stuff and bought equipment for up there. Because we couldn't pay different, we were rolling the John Deere equipment, which is you get a new piece every year. And since we couldn't do that in our dealership here in Tecumseh, we were rolling 30 pieces every year. So he would get 30 pieces and it had just very few hours on it, and he could sell it at a competitive edge over everybody else around. Well, he was getting, the economy was slowing down, things were slowing down. The pieces weren't selling. His lots are getting fuller and fuller by machinery that I'm trading every year. We did this 7 years, so he's got 210 pieces of equipment that he's got in the last 7 years from us, and he can't sell it. Well, the deal was, I pay the rental payment or the lease, whatever you want to call it. He pays the note off. Well, they talked me into signing a note with Deere, just a 1-year note. So every year with Deere, I'm supposed to pay that piece off. Well, I don't pay it off. The dealership pays it off. I pay the rental. Well, they had so much machinery, they didn't want to pay the notes off. So Dale's stuck having to pay all these notes off, $5 million I'm supposed to come up with. Well, I can't. So now all my notes are due. The other my $1 million operating line at the bank is due. My other $500,000 line at the other bank is due. Well, there's this little clause in the bank's thing, even though you've got all your money in the bank, you're making payments to them. If they feel threatened in any way, they can take all the money out of your account and pay all their debts off. Honest to State Bank cleans out of my accounts $800,000 that was set up to pay everybody else. They took it off. They paid themselves off. We're pretty clear. They bounced 35 payroll checks. They bounced a couple hundred other checks that we sent out to make all these payments. So where do you think that left me financially?
I see. Okay.
In turmoil.
We had heard that notes were being called back, but we didn't know that those pieces of information, how it specifically played out.
Yeah, the roll program that we had set up with Deere, and it was my own fault. I should have never let them talk me into doing it, but I was paying a quarter of the amount I would pay on a normal market. I mean, John, your combine payment would be $50,000. I was paying 20. Saving $30,000. Who wouldn't do that?
Yeah.
And that was the same on all these pieces. Well, the dealership, instead of them saying, hey, we can't take these in that trade. Let's keep these pieces another year. We'll roll them back in and go through it. They didn't do that. They just didn't pay John Deere.
Just let you hold the bag at the
Yeah,
end.
they let me hold the bag.
Okay.
But a lot of it was the manager at the dealership was not telling the owner, Paul Bader, what was going on. Because Paul Bader and I have a great relationship right now. I mean, I owe him $5-6 million right now. We know with him. So if he'd have known what was going on, none of this other would have happened probably. But it all goes back to communication. You know, there was a failure in communication. I assumed the dealership's manager was doing his job, but he wasn't. He was covering his own ass. So they threw me to the wolves, and by the time me and Paul Bader got together, talking about what was going on, a whole bunch of shit went down.
And coming out of that financially,
So what I had to do to survive is we sold off all the property we had in Manchester to Sears Farms. They wrote a check and bought that. I had to sell another 300-400 acres I had in Britain to pay off the bank to get them off. Well, I didn't pay them off to get them satisfied to leave me alone. And he was in this deal because he's this great guy. He's negotiating this deal to help me, which I'd have been better off not even had him involved. He ends up with 100 acres of mine that he negotiated the deal that they needed another $500,000 to keep me from losing everything. Negotiated this deal. The deal, you only got 2 weeks to come up with this money. You know, and I'm this good guy. I'll buy that piece of ground from you, but I'm only going to give you this much money. You don't know it's worth this much money. He set up the deal and cut his own pocket. It cost me over $100,000.
okay.
But he set the deal up. I only had 2 weeks. Where are you going to come up with millions of dollars in 2 weeks? There's no one. He set me up to fail.
So he negotiated this deal directly with the bank for you to have whatever extension, they come up with X amount, and then gave you X amount for that property, basically, right?
I see.
Sure. Okay.
So
Yeah,
he me in the deal.
not this
But I'm
is.
still here. I still was
I'm not saying this to make you mad, but it was explained to us that you two, meaning you and Dee, were in turmoil, and I'm being dramatic, but ran down the street to the house. Please save us, and that's what was essentially told to us before. So that makes a little bit more sense.
No, that's not good at all. He's like, he was trying to come across that he's going to be the savior. Well, his whole master plan was to fuck us out of something, and he did.
Which piece of property was that?
Baby highway, 100 acres there they own. It links. Got about a 300 acre chunk there now because he put my 100 acres with his.
Okay. And how much would that have been worth at the time on the open market, do you think?
We should have been able to get probably 6,000 or 7,000 an acre for it. He only gave me 4.
I see. Okay. Yeah, that would leave a sour taste in my mouth. Also, I don't blame you.
Well, it did at the time, but you know, I'm one that doesn't hold a grudge that much. But I looked at it this way: it saved me all the other properties I had, so it was a cost of doing business.
Mm.
But it leaves a sour taste in your mouth that he wasn't there to help, like he was trying to come across. He was there to screw her again,
Yeah.
and she was very bid her over too, but I convinced her to keep her mouth shut and just be civil on it. We're here, we'll get through it.
Sometimes, unfortunately, there's a price to pay to reveal someone's true colors too. So you paid a hefty fine to reveal true shit,
Paid
true
a lot,
shape, you know.
a lot of hefty fines, to do Russell cost me, I figured 20 million, but, up until we bought that vegetable farm, there wasn't anything that we couldn't do. You feel this sense of invincibility. If you work hard and you go at it, there's nothing you can't do. I mean, kind of the American way. If you work hard, you'll do well, you'll prosper. And up until then, there was nothing we couldn't overcome. But out there, we had 150 Mexicans working for us. Lying, stealing, cheating. I should not say much more, but give you an example. Well, it's burned in my fucking brain forever. We're growing cabbage up there. There's a 40-acre field of cabbage, and we send the Mexicans down. It's all hand-weeded. There's about 25 Mexicans in the crew. They're supposed to all go out and weed this. Dee sends them out to weed, and I don't they're spraying. And while spraying, there's only 5 or 6 people in this field weeding. And I called Dee on it. That's when we had the next thousand call. I'm like, Dee, there's 5 or 6 people out here in the cabbage weed. Are they supposed to be here? And she's like, no, I sent the whole crew out there. And I says, well, how many are supposed to be? She says, around 20, 25. I says, there's 5 people here. She says, I'll call and I'll go check. Yeah, there's 25 people punched in. You realize the property's so big up there. They all jump in their cars. They go back to the laneway to the thing. 5 of them jump out. They drive around the backside of it. Over the camp, because we had housing up there. They drive around. They all go to housing. So 5 people worked. The other 15 went home and were hanging out in the cabins. And I says, when it's time to punch out, they have a load back up. They go back this way. They drive around here. Go over and pick the 5 up. Come up to camp and I'll punch out.
So who drew the short straws? Which 5 are working each day? The rotation, or how do you get it on
I
that?
don't know how they did it, but that was unbelievable. So yeah, they all seen the wrath of Dee that day. But you had to watch everything they did. Yeah, they're growing marijuana. I was back in Maryland. They were growing marijuana. It was all muck ground black dirt. They're growing marijuana in all the ditches and all over. And come to find out after the fact, after we lost it and sold it, that when they were taking the stuff into Myers and Kroger's, that we were hauling all their pot in the truck that had distribution at Myers and Kroger's where they were selling it, and they were taking it off the trucks.
Oh, wow. So you get out of that financial trouble. Can you describe what your financial situation was like, April 1st, 2021? What was it like then?
We were struggling. I didn't think, we were struggling. We had been struggling since Due Russell's to get operating loans. And, it's a challenge. The prices where they were. And we finally got hooked up with a group that was
I have to stop. You got to talk stupid there. You said the prices where they were. What do you mean?
corn prices.
Okay.
Corn prices. I mean, back when things were rolling good, it was $6, $7 a bushel for corn, $15 for beans. Well, corn was back down to 4. Beans were down to 9 or 8. So I mean,
Probably with the same operating costs. So
right,
you're, I see.
so
Okay.
we're operating at a loss.
Okay.
So it was tough, and it was hard because we're paying off a lot of bad debt. We're still paying bad debt.
If the farming is struggling that much, what was keeping you afloat?
Work harder, do more.
In which way? Can you describe that to me?
Instead of working 10 hours a day, you're working 18 to 20. You're farming more ground. You're trying to do more custom spraying.
Mm-hmm.
Todd's being pushed to send the trucks out more loads.
Okay.
But unbeknownst that, after the fact, we look back, the farming side wasn't losing money. It was making money. But the problem is when you've got 10 guys driving truck, 5 of those guys are on farm's payroll. The trucking company isn't paying farms back for the 5 guys on the payroll.
I see.
So it's pretty easy to make a trucking company look very profitable when half the employees are on the farm side. All the maintenance that are coming from the auto parts store or the trucking store is being billed to Warwick Farms. You just got $10,000 worth of parts for that truck and brakes, and it's all billed to Warwick Farms. Warwick Farms pays for it. The trucking company's using the truck free and clear, not paying for any parts, not paying for the drivers. Farms is paying the insurance.
Okay.
See where I'm going with this?
Mm-hmm. I see what you're
And you want to buy a lake house unbeknownst to your husband, and you're trying to get it refinanced, so you give them the financials from the trucking company, which looks like you're making a lot of money, 30%. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no overhead. Who's not making money? No overhead.
Right.
Right.
Well, then you got, different places. She tried to sell the trucking company in 2018, unbeknownst to me. Mark found the paperwork, and they're like, no. The industry standard for profitability in trucking is only like 5 to 6%, and you're making 30%, D? What's going on here?
How did this deal come up with Laidlaw? Can you describe that to us a little bit?
The deal with Laidlaw? You guys talking law enforcement, all these people after the fact, you guys crippled me. My ability to pay bills and stuff was crippled after you guys come in, took phones, took systems out, did what you did. I mean, it was a struggle before. It was more challenging. Then you take into place, fuel costs just doubled. A tire that used to cost me $800 now costs me $1,600. I can't pay that. How am I going to keep making the payments on all this stuff? Todd sees this. He's dispatcher, and he knows all these guys at Laidlaw. They've been talking to him. Hey, Todd, why don't you come work for us? Why don't you guys do this? It's like, no, I'm not leaving Dale. We're not leaving. Well, how about we buy him out? Bring him down, Todd. We'll talk to him. They made us an offer. We paid off the trucks, the debt. I had to take a 5-year non-compete. I've got an agreement with them that I do a lot of maintenance and stuff for them. The rent facilities. All my employees are protected. They've all got jobs. Todd moved over. It was a deal. Did I want to do that? No. Was it a good deal? Yeah. I just eliminated a couple $1 million in debt on trucks. I had to give a non-compete for 5 years. Todd's got a job. I'm still getting rental income. I can make my house payment. I can keep moving forward. 5 years, am I going to be back? Todd and I will decide. Will every one of the guys come back if I ask them to? Yes, they will. And we have a good relationship with them. And they know there's not a single thing I'll ask them to do that I wouldn't do myself if I had the time to do it.
Okay. I just want to ask you some questions to make sure I understand. So you agreed to a purchase price, and then you signed a contract saying, hey, I won't do any more trucking work, basically. And then they're paying you X amount monthly for facility rental, essentially. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. And is that facility rental, is that also a 5-year contract?
No, that's
just a non-compete is?
Just a non-compete is. The facility rental is month to month. So if they choose to leave, they can leave whenever they want.
Okay. And then is there a maintenance contract in place for you to maintain the vehicles, or they're just paying you?
They just pay us whatever it takes to keep them fixed.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Recently you submitted some documentation for an SBA loan. You know which one I'm talking about. Can you describe that to us?
Which one? I got two.
Both. I don't know if you knew there's two of them.
Yeah, there's two.
For each company or?
No, there's a $500,000 SBA loan that we took out. Oh, I don't remember. That was first. We took that out to pay off a lot of the debts that was occurred, without Dee there, that we're going, so we keep going. And the second one we took out, it was a no-brainer. I mean, our operating loan at the time was, we had a $800,000 operating loan, and it was at 9%. The SBA loan we took out was only 3%. They don't have to pay anything back for 2 years, and after that, it's over 30-year payback. So,
Was that the EIDL one?
no, I don't know. The SBA loan, that's one. I don't know what the hell.
See, this is stuff can probably help.
Yeah, that's all stuff. I mean, from the accounting side, the accountant said, this is no brainer. You got to do this. You're going to pay 9% on an operating loan to these guys, or you get this loan here for 3%. You don't have to pay anything for 2 years. This is no brainer. So that's why.
I'm sorry, who said that?
The accountants.
Oh, okay.
One of them, but our other accountants we talked to, our tax ones and different ones. I mean, you run it by them, the numbers are. I go, why would you not do this?
Even I can tell 3 versus 9 is.
Yeah.
It's good.
That's where that number's been.
This is huge. I mean, this to the bottom cash flow number. It's all about the cash flow. So that was a no-brainer. I mean, there's nothing shady, nothing illegal. The money's all went. I mean, every penny of it. You guys can come look and see where it's went. It's all went to pay bills on the farm. I mean, you know, the conservator was put into place to protect and conserve these assets. I've done more to do that than anybody else has done. Every bill's been paid.
Yeah, I haven't spoken directly to the conservator about this. This is more or less through the grapevine, but I think one of the concerns was a copy of Dee's driver's license and passport was submitted with the application.
So we've got that on file. Every business has copies of their employees, their my passports in the file, my licenses in the file, my restricted use licenses in the file. Every employee's license is in our file.
Where is that stuff stored?
It's all in the file cabinets. You guys went through it all.
In the manual physical file cabinets? Okay. And again, these are questions that I'm not saying you did anything wrong, but we just have to ask based on
Yeah,
what was
that's
the
why
budget.
you guys should have all
I
said
don't, yeah, I want you to understand me. I'm not accusing you of nothing. I just,
No, that's
This is
everybody
about-
says, well, that's, why would you have a copy? Standard procedure any place you go. You go to the medical office,
Exactly.
the first thing you gotta give them is your driver's license and your medical card, they copy it, put it in the file.
yeah, I'm not running $1 million business and I have my stuff saved electronically, you know, on my Google Drive because I need it for this or that. So I understand completely. There was also some questions raised about a power of attorney. Dee had signed it. Can you talk to us about that?
What do you know about it? We both have them.
When were those made or when were those signed? Do you know?
I don't remember what the date, whatever the date's on the power of attorney. I think it was 12 or 14. I mean, we've got power of attorneys on lots of things. I mean, I've got them at the Farm Service Agency. I've got them for, was Tom Nortley at the time, Matt Luck at the time, Rob Brisky at the time, Dee, myself. She had the same power of attorneys for me. I mean, it's the normal business operating paperwork that we have.
Okay. Do you remember when or where those were signed specifically?
I know
The ones
they were
forward.
all notarized and signed, witnessed. The same ones, the one in the Farm Service Agency. I think Dan was in the office at the time. He notarized them, or Stephanie was a notary. Stephanie did it too.
Okay.
Notaries, or before we had notaries at our own office, we went over to Brisky's and he had a notary in his office. They would notarize it, or we'd run into the bank.
Okay. And have it notarized there. Okay. Do you have any question about the business, Scott?
There was some questions that there were 2 operating agreements. There really is only 1 operating agreement. It was, other than the one that Dee manufactured afterwards.
Well, yeah, the one she fabricated up for DDW Investment, she made one up with just her name on it, but the other, there's been addendums done to the operating agreements. In the first addendum that she did, Dee wrote them up, she was under the understanding that she had to retype the whole operating agreement. So the one that they're questioning or putting on YouTube that is a fake or something, because she retyped the whole operating agreement and put the addendum as page 1. She made, so it's like 14 or 15 pages. So she copied the whole agreement with the addendum and we signed it. But you don't have to do that. All you have to do is type up the addendum and sign it and put it with the original operating agreement. She was under the understanding that she had to redo it every time. So she's like, this is a pain in the ass, Dale. I don't want to have to retype this every time. And that's when she emailed Jim Dewsman and he was kind of chuckling and laughing and says, no, honey, you don't have to do that. And she just got to do page 1. So it was kind of fun at the time. But
Business questions? You good?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay.
But I mean, whenever you guys got questions, just come out. If you guys don't come out to the office, it's an open door.
Okay.
There's
Okay.
nothing to hide. We're not doing anything that's shady. It's
I don't think that at all. No. It's unfortunate that a lot of questions we have to ask are just because of the circus.
well, that's what makes me feel like you guys are being led around because it's all it's fabricated by them. So once it's fabricated, you got to ask.
Yep.
That's why we joke with you. It's a joke between you and me. So don't
Trust
take,
me,
don't take.
I am not getting your Christmas card. I promise you.
You're-
You might get one before me. How about that? What can you tell me about Dee and her migraines?
They were bad. take her to the hospital several times because she'll get a migraine, she'll lose vision, her voice will start slurring, her face will sag, it looks just like a stroke, it's scarier than hell. I took her to the hospital several times. You go to the hospital, it's very frustrating because they don't do anything, they put you in a room, they just leave you there. You know, she's there in pain and I'm feeling helpless.
Mm-hmm.
They finally do give her something, it's like, what can we do? There's nothing we can do. I'm like, I could have just kept her home and done this. You know? And where were the kids when any of this shit went on? Not a fucking one of them around. She called, they didn't come. They didn't come. They would never come. Ever.
How long had she been having it? When did he start?
Since I met her. She had them, I think she had them back when she was married. I think she had one with, she said they thought it was a stroke and she lost her face sagged. I think that was the worst one she had. That's what they call it, like a mini stroke. I mean, I did have to ask what that first one was, but I don't remember, but she had them. They were getting more and more frequent, but she had. So we were going up to Chelsea to the pain clinic.
Okay.
For the pain. And before I didn't know it.
That's scary.
Yeah. And well, you guys seen all the bottles and stuff I found in the house, didn't you? Or did you see those? Or
I couldn't tell you how much, but I'm familiar with what you mean. Yeah.
yeah, there's bottles and bottles. I found them everywhere, and I'm still finding stuff stuffed in the camper. There was a little pill bag. It's just.
Were you ever concerned she may have been getting them elsewhere? Legitimately?
Hindsight, yeah, now I am, but I was oblivious at the time.
Yeah.
You know, that was always someone else's problem. That's not my wife's not here.
And
Blind to it.
I'm telling you, that's what everyone feels that way.
Yeah.
It's never their kid, it's never their wife, it's never their.
And I know exactly where they're coming from now because I look back and I go, oh my fucking God.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's 10 bottles of oxycodone. I could go get you 10 bottles of them right now out of my house. They're in the drawers. And now I'm talking to think, you guys, I need to get the fuck out of there because I got a 10-year-old dog in the house.
Yeah, it's scary to have around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know what else she was doing and I was oblivious to it.
Did you, aside from the oxycodone, do you know what other pills she may have been taking that were prescribed to her?
I don't know what they are. I mean, there's a bunch of other ones she had.
I'm sorry, I need to back you up 1 second. Now, how often did she have a migraine, would you say, if it's estimate?
She'd have a bad one at least once a month or more.
Okay. And can you describe what that was like for her?
Just unbearable pain in her head. And it got to a point where she would always talk about the pain and you'd just get hard to it because you heard it so much you didn't believe it anymore. I mean, like a kid crying wolf, you know, sometimes you feel like she's just using that as a crutch to, I got a migraine, I'm going back to the house to get away from you. But the pain level was unbearable. And I could tell when she was having one that was bad because her face would start sagging a little bit. And her vision, she'd have blurred vision. She'd be talking to you. You know, if you're talking to somebody where have eye contact, she'd be talking to me and she'd be looking off over here because she couldn't see me.
And then what was...
And her voice would start getting slurred a little bit. And that's when I knew it was bad.
Okay. And what was her behavior like when that was occurring? What would she do?
She would still try to fake it and be normal.
Mm-hmm.
But she just couldn't function. Her voice would be slurred and she just would not be acting right. I'm like, honey, you just need to lay down. So we just get her to lay down or just to hear her calm down. She would, at first, when it was first going on, we'd get her a beer or some alcohol to thin her blood. Is what the theory was, it would help. And that helped at first, but after a while it didn't help anymore. And she had some, the one doctor that she was going to had some pills that they had made up. It was a combination of three different drugs. And she'd take them and it was 4 migraines.
Okay.
And that helped. And the one pharmacy, there's only one pharmacy that was up by Chelsea that I guess they had to custom make them there. And that's where she got those. And that seemed to help the most.
Okay.
It would do away. I mean, she would still, some of the pills you take like then she'd just be a zombie. But this here, she could still function. She'd talk, and it'd be more like the normal Dee. She'd just be slowed down version.
And aside from you said looking back, you could see things with the pills. Did you have any suspicion then, or see her taking pills that you thought were in excess?
I always thought, I don't take any pills, so I always thought it's an excess if she's taking anything. Why are you taking those? But I guess I'm just a freak that doesn't have them. I mean, I don't drink and I don't smoke, so I'm already a freaking freak because I don't drink alcohol. But
Okay, what's wrong with you?
I don't know. All I know how to do is work. You know.
It's a good problem to have.
Well, yeah. I didn't spend any time with my first 4 kids because all they did is work, so I'll make it up.
Initially, when this happened, and I don't want to misquote you, so please correct me. But if I'm saying something that you said, I want you to correct me if I'm wrong. Sincerely, okay? You had made a statement about she's in Jamaica, and what made you think that?
She loved it there. She's fascinated with it down there. And what makes me think, and I will find her. I will find her eventually. I will. She's in Jamaica or she's in Mexico. And the reason I say she's in Jamaica, and when we're down there, she was fascinated with it. She was always off with it. What would you call it? The person that's in charge of the resort that, gives you all the information, can get you anything you want while you're there, take you wherever. And she's always fascinated. When you're in Jamaica, we're at the resorts, and you look up on the hill. There's all these mansions way up on the mountain and the hill. And she's like, who are those up there? I want to go up there. That's all the drug cartels. That's all the people that you don't want to go up there. Mm-hmm. She's fascinated with that stuff. She's there. I guarantee you. You tell my wife she can't do something, she's going to prove you wrong. She's going to go there, she's going to do it. She was on that cruise ship. It's been 3 years ago when she went. She found somebody in that ship that hooked her up, or they hit it off like her and I did years ago. And they told each other some dreams of what they wanted to be or what they wanted to do. And she's in Jamaica up in the mansions, or she's in Mexico and some of the places you don't want to go to.
This person she hit it off with, can you describe that to me?
He was a guy on the boat. He was one of the directors or one of the top guys there. And it was either him or an associate of his that was on the boat. That was very well off, very well to do. And she was hanging with them a lot on the boat. This is according to my brother. And just the things that Dee would tell me, we did this. And then she'd tell me, she'd like, you could see it back when I shouldn't have told that. I mean, they left, which is the worker in the office.
Yep.
And Dee went on this cruise. I wouldn't go. I don't like boats. I won't go on a boat. She was pissed. I'll show you. I'm going to go anyway. So she took her dog. So then my brother went, their daughter, and my sister went. I mean, cancer. That was her last trip before she passed away. So my brother and them left the girls all with Dee for the night. Dee put the girls in the room, put a movie in. They go out bar hopping all night, leave the kids in the room all by themselves on a boat with 8,000 fucking people on it. And I find this out after the fact. My brother says, I really didn't want to say this to you, but I'm going to tell you because my daughter was left alone in the room while Dee went out bar hopping. Called me in the middle of the night, scared because no one was in the room with them. And my brother, them were furious that they left her in the room. Why didn't you just have them come back to our room? Well, while they're out bar hopping that night, that's when she's with these guys on the ship.
And you're learning about this after the fact?
I learned this. I've got bits and pieces of this now for 4 years, 3 years.
Okay.
I'm trying to go back together in my mind. And I'm thinking, okay, she's on this cruise ship. While she's on the cruise ship, she bought $10,000 ring. She bought another $5,000 worth of jewelry here that I found the receipts in the mail. We're in Jamaica, she's buying jewelry. I find out after the fact I get home. She's fascinated with these places up on the hill, wanting to take off and go to town by herself. I'm like, no, you can't. Well, then she goes and you'll have to send an armed guard with her where she'd go. So she's there. She's in Mexico, one of these places.
And I just want to be clear, specific with
That's my gut.
that's what I was going to ask you. So
That's
specific
my
with the guy that she met on the cruise ship, that's something that you're thinking hindsight, or you have something to.
I don't have anything backed up other than what she's told me and different. It's all speculation.
Okay. And the reason why I asked,
I mean,
is
them
that-
leaving the kids in the room, I can fact that my brother would then back it up. Amy,
I think we had heard that before.
I mean,
Yeah.
that'll all back up. But as far as anything else, is speculation. But that's on her husband. That's my gut feeling. I mean, I know my wife.
Okay. You had this gut feeling that she's in Jamaica or Mexico, and can you describe how she would have gotten there without a passport or without crossing a border?
You don't need a passport to get to Mexico. You don't need one to get to Jamaica either. If you guys think you have to have one, guys are really.
Well, obviously that's the most common way to get there, right? So,
Well, yeah, I mean,
so if you were her, how would you have gotten there without one? Can you describe that to me?
Well, she's gonna get driven down to Florida. She's gonna get on a boat. She's gonna go over. You don't need a passport to get to Jamaica. You only give them $50. Mexico, you give them $10. I seen that coming back from Mexico. Our guys lost their paperwork and we took a group down there. Didn't have nothing. Went in the back, gave the guy $10 on the plane. We're home.
Okay. When was that?
I can tell you a few years ago. And when Dee and I just went down to Jamaica. Was it 6 months before she went missing, or it wasn't too long before that? Nothing's changed. I mean, the guy that works over, Dad's Ozzy, the black guy that works over there, he's from Jamaica. His brother's a detective down there. You know, it's all money. If you have some money, you can do anything you want. It's unbelievable.
Okay. Specifically on the money topic, where would she have gotten this money to do this? Because now it's been a long time to have survived on this money. Where would she have gotten it?
Still tallying up how much money she's got. We're still puzzled on where she could have funneled it or how she's got the money to where she can get it. I haven't got answers to that yet.
Okay. And you had previously made statements about money missing from the safe. Can you describe that to us?
I mean, there was money in the safe, it was gone. So
How much money was in the safe?
there was approximately close to, not for sure, there's between $75,000 to $100,000 cash in the safe.
Okay. And can you describe
It's all in hundreds.
how that money was collected or how it came to be?
It was, we sold different pieces of machinery and, you know, over the time you take your paycheck, you put $100 aside, you put it in the safe, and it's just accumulated over years.
Okay. And then how much was missing when she left?
I don't remember for sure Kevin would know because we went down there and looked. And it seemed like there was only like 18 or 20,000. I mean, don't quote me. I'd have to ask Kevin because I think we looked or counted or did something at the time. It seemed like there's only like 18 or 20,000 left.
When you say Kevin, you're referring to Greca? Make sure I'm clear. Okay. And can you, if I was leaving forever, I wouldn't leave anything behind. Can you explain that?
I don't. She knows that. I figured she left that because that was the amount of money that she figured I had been putting in there from my paychecks or what I saved since forever. So I guess she had a little guilt that she left. A lot of things she did I don't understand.
Okay.
But, you know, like you said, it wouldn't have been just as easy to take it all, but she left the one bag that the money that I put in. So
She had that off-book bank account, the TCF account.
yeah, TLC.
That was, that she was using to funnel money into that from DGW investments and some other stuff.
But most of the money was from when we had an auction, sold different pieces of machinery and her stuff. And some guys paid cash. She put in there. I know she said that was her money, and I thought back now, why was she saying it was her money? Well, because she thought it was hers.
And a lot of those financial questions, we're awaiting a financial forensic audit, so a lot of those questions are going to be answered. We just don't have them right now, essentially. But specifically with cash, it's sometimes hard to show where from it was, where.
Well, it's acquired over years. It's how you go. Say how.
Yeah, a lot of it we're going to discover, but that's a large sum of money to have in a house. So I was interested to if you had a specific thing, like we sold this tractor, it's worth X, or, you know, something large, but nothing like that comes to mind? Okay,
You know,
okay.
I mean, that might be a large amount of money for someone. It's not for, it wasn't for us. I mean, we'd have $100,000 to save at all times. I mean, you go over to, otherwise it was risky, he had $1 million in saving his place all the time. It's
How-
just the size of the volume of business.
How long had you had money like that, of that amount in the safe?
Oh, we've always had $50,000 to $100,000 in the safe, even when we're dealing with bankruptcy. I mean, you're gonna, that's your cash reserve. What are you gonna do? You know, if everything goes to hell, you gotta have money to live on.
Okay,
That's not money that you're gonna use to make a house payment or these other payments. That's the money that you have to buy food, put on the table, you know, to live on. I
okay.
mean, imagine, you know, in your house, you probably have some cash stuffed away somewhere that your wife, you got for your kids that you're not gonna. I'm assuming that.
My wife doesn't trust me with our money, so I couldn't.
So you're in my shoes and you don't know what your wife
I'm
has.
telling you, I made that comment earlier, I wasn't kidding.
I can tell you I do not have $100,000.
Same here. Okay, you have to forgive me, we gotta get into a couple more parts here, but I have to step out and use the restroom. Can I get you another water while I'm out?
No, I'm probably gonna use the restroom too.
Okay, do you guys know where that one is? I just actually go one at a time?
Yeah.
Is that all right? There's another one around the corner I'm gonna use.
Sure. You want to drink water, you gotta piss 4 times. Just, am I saying anything I'm not supposed to say? You're good.
No, you're, listen,
I mean,
transparency is king. You're doing well.
it's my wife.
Okay, that's it. Yeah,
How would you?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
They didn't have a lot of school. They merged with DCL like after I graduated, like 96 or 7. Just about the time they were ready to. So DCL used to be where Comerica Park is now,
Oh, yeah.
and they knew they were going to tear the school down to build a stadium. So, and Michigan State didn't have a law school, so they had sort of a professional relationship for a while. And then basically Michigan State absorbed them and they became Michigan State Law School.
Oh, nice.
So
I did not know that.
I actually was working in Washington at the time and was going to stay there and go to law school, but I decided to come home and go to law school in Detroit, stay with family. But I had a unique opportunity in DC at the time, so didn't want to be in that fishbowl, didn't want to stay there. So I was happy to get out.
I take it in little chunks.
It was in the 80s. I mean, I was there when President Reagan was there. It was a pretty unique experience. And
I don't know what that was like, the 80s.
said before you were. When we doing that?
I had to get it in, I had to get my shot.
Driving down here this morning, I'm listening to the ticket, right? And like everybody, I'm kind of excited about the Lions and what's going on. I mean, you know. But I actually remember when the Lions used to be sort of good back in the late 80s, early 90s. My dad was Wayne Fence's agent. They were really good friends.
Oh, yeah?
And so we used to spend a lot of time going to Lions games and stuff. And then after that, the wheels fell off for like 20 years. And I went to the NFC Championship game in 1991. They lost to the Redskins. And the Redskins ended up going with Mark Ribbon to the Super Bowl. They won it. That was the last time the Lions really were in.
The last time I won a playoff game was 91.
Yep.
They beat the Cowboys at the Silverdome. I was at that game. A couple of years after that, maybe 92 or 93, they were in the playoffs against Green Bay, and Sterling Sharp went into overtime. The very first play from scrimmage, Brett Favre and Sterling Sharp, on a long bomb, the Lions lost. It was like literally the first play from overtime. It was, and I don't know. I think the Lions maybe made the playoffs one more time after that, until 2016.
Right.
They were just so bad for so many years.
I still found myself Sunday watching and going,
Oh.
they're gonna blow. Oh, they're gone. See, same old line, and then they came through. So
Also, this guy Jim Costas on the radio this morning. He goes, "The Lions could win a playoff game the first time in my life.
And I'm going, you aren't old enough to remember that you. Nobody called that.
If I could ask you a generic farming question, Dale, could you, in 30 seconds, if it's possible, describe like the seasons of a farmer? So, winter, spring, summer. What are you doing through those seasons?
What am I doing?
I asked him the same question once.
Like
This is-
right now, we're still, marketing our crop from this year.
When you say marketing, literally mean
Market.
selling.
Yeah, marketing,
Okay.
selling. I'm looking at purchasing the inputs, as far as chemicals and fertilizers and seed for next year.
Okay.
We're getting machinery in and getting it retooled, redone for next year. We'll be taking, as we're going through here, February, we'll be getting orders of hopefully what application jobs we're gonna do for someone else, or what their needs are gonna be, so we can get it into the buildings. Our seed corn will be coming. They called here the other day, wanted to bring seed, and I'm like, I don't want seed yet. I'm gonna wait till after the first year they start bringing seed in, we start putting it in inventory.
Okay.
And they'll start bringing out soybean seed, and we'll put it in our bulk tanks. Basically, we're getting machinery around up until, February, March.
And what happens in February and March? Then you're-
March is, depends on what Mother Nature does, but March, you'll be the time when you can start putting some anhydrous on, or you'll be putting on some fertilizer, liquid fertilizers or dries, just depends on what crops you're growing. You'll be top dressing wheat,
What does that mean?
putting fertilizer on
Idiot.
wheat. You got wheat, winter wheat that was planted, here a month or two ago.
Okay.
You'll be out putting the fertilizer on it. You want to put it on once either, while the wheat's still dormant. It doesn't come out of dormancy till, the weather starts warming up.
Okay.
When your yard starts turning green, the wheat's coming out of dormancy. So
Okay.
you want to get the fertilizer on, so when it comes out of dormancy, the fertilizer's there, the nitrogen there. It takes a lot of nitrogen for wheat, so it's there to get growing. You can be scouting for weeds and bugs. Your first application, wheat you spray 4 times. So you'll be out there, you're putting your fertilizer on the first application, probably in February, March. Second application, you'll be putting more fertilizer on, and probably an insecticide, or herbicide. Third one you'll be doing for fungus, and the fourth one will be for fungus and insects. And that'll be right up in probably May will be your last application in the wheat, unless you get, it depends on if you get a lot of moisture, fungus will grow from molds and stuff. You'll have to spray for mold in the wheat, and then you'll get some weevils or different insects will come in. You can spray for those. And same time you're doing burn down, which is spraying like Roundup or 240 on to kill the weeds that are in the field. So when you go through the tillage equipment, it's not balling up and making a mess. Then you'll be putting on fertilizer then. Get ready for seed, and you go out and you plant your seed with the planters. You put more fertilizer on. Then you're going to go out and spray an application of Roundup and some for post-emergent spraying, which is going to be like atrazine, metallochlor, which is all to keep the weeds from coming up. And then you can go back out again in probably middle of June, top dress, which is putting in more fertilizer for the corn. You're looking for insects and weeds you got to spray. And you're getting towards the middle to end of July. You're getting close to tassel where it's going to be pollinating. We've got a thing that they call soot, black soot, and there's different diseases that are coming in the corn right now. We're out spraying with airplanes to stop the black smut and stuff from coming in. And then you're going to start your harvesting with the beans. You're going to be scouting the beans in June, July for getting Chinese beetles and different insects and spraying, so it never ends.
Do you just keep track of all the stuff in your head, or do you have a formal schedule for everything?
A lot of it's in my head. By the seasons, it's just
And even, I'm
your
assuming
your body knows when this is coming, or the weather.
that's what I was gonna say, the weather, you can't predict, it's been unreasonably warm, and so coming up right now, and, not that things be planted.
I've done this my whole life, so it's just.
So you use the farmer's almanac?
It's hard to find them anymore.
Yeah.
It's hard to get them anymore. But there's a lot of truth to it. Grandpa always say that, the frogs croak so many times before a hard frost, and there's so many different sayings. The locust, you hear, it sounds like the frogs at night, you hear all the locusts chirping. So many times they chirp at night, you're gonna get frost. So many times they chirp at night, it's gonna rain. And these guys had shit down, let me tell you. And then different ones, with the cattle, because you dehorn cattle, you gotta cut their horns off, otherwise, they'll gore each other when they get older and bigger. And there's sayings out that you don't want to dehorn cattle after a half moon. You want to do it after a full moon, then they'll bleed less. And goddamn, something's true. I mean, you dehorn them and they're bleeding. You go in a room and there's blood sprayed everywhere because the arteries are right up there. And next time you do it after a full moon, they didn't bleed at all. There's some truth to this stuff. But bad luck to draw on.
Well, it affects the tides, so I don't know.
Well,
What affects
the tides, there's so many things. It's just,
I don't know.
but there's so many things. There's so many things that there's so many things that
He's in charge of psychics. You think I was him?
But there's so many things that I would remember to tell you because it's all like second nature now. I mean, it just when they say go plant corn, well, I already know what all it is, and you're gonna look at me like, well, what do I have to do? There's things. That's what my son needs to tell me. Dad, you need to tell me everything you do. You're assuming that I know what you're talking about. It is. You just do it your whole life. It's just second nature. It's like breathing.
And outside of when I say your farming, I'm referring to the land that you own. When it comes to, please correct me, my vernacular is going to be wrong. When it comes to lands you were contracted to spray or fertilize, do you have a formal schedule for that, or how does that work? So let's say I own 100 acres and I'm going to hire you to spray. Do you schedule a specific day with me, or how does that work?
You're going to call me and say, I've got 100 acres of corn. I want you to spray it. I'm going to ask you, when did you plant it? How big is the corn now? What fertilizer do you have on? What do you have on? Do you have any chemicals? Have you done anything? Did you till it, or is it no-till? No-till means you just went out and planted it. You didn't till the ground, so you didn't kill any of the weeds or stir any of the ground up. I'm going to ask you those questions, and then I'm going to come out and look at it. I'm going to go out, okay, you planted it the other day, so I know you planted it on Monday. Well, okay, I've got 2 weeks before I really got to be concerned about it. Because that's going to be like this. So if I run over it, it'll pop back up. If it gets over this tall, you run over it, it's dead. That's cool. So I'm going to come out and look at it, and I'm going to ask you what weeds you have. Do you have a lot of thistles? Do you have broadleaf weeds? Grasses? So I know what chemistry I have to use to keep it clean. Did you plant around a Ready corn? Did you plant Liberty Link? Do you have...
Are those brands, or what is that?
That's resistance to different herbicides.
Oh, okay.
Roundup Ready, you can spray Roundup on it, it won't kill it. Liberty Link will be, you can spray Liberty on it, it won't kill it. There's different ones. Is it BT, corn borer resistant, where the bugs eat it, they die? Is it rootworm resistant? Am I going to need to put like chlorophos on or something for insecticides? And you're going to answer all those questions. I'm going to come out and look at it and go, okay, yeah, looks decent. This is what we're going to use, and I'm going to come back to a sprayer. And it's going to be determined by, if we had rain today, I'm not going to come out there tomorrow because I'm not going to sink in and mud your field up. I'm going to wait till it's dry. Scheduled by, if they're calling for rain tomorrow, well, no, I don't want to spray it tomorrow because the stuff I'm spraying takes 4 hours. It's got to be on the plant or be there 4 hours before it can work. So I'm going to spray it and rain an hour later. Well, we just wasted $30-40 an acre. So after we determine all that, I'll just come and get it done. Then you got to make sure the wind can't be blowing. If you're in a subdivision, I don't want this stuff blowing over on the neighbors, killing their grass, or if their kids are out there, they're going to be turning me in that I'm drifting on them. So, as far as me scheduling, I'm going to be there Monday to spray it at 9 o'clock. No, that don't happen. So it's going to be when the weather is right, and you have faith in me that
within a window of the appropriate time for that plant, essentially, right?
Right.
Okay. You look at it, you have 5 days. You're going to be there within that 5 day period. But it's never, I'm going to be here this morning or that morning.
Right.
Okay.
You're going to be there when, there's mornings when it's real calm out and there's no wind. Great, let's go spray. And there's days that it doesn't stop blowing and you can't spray at all. You'll have the competition out spraying still. But I'm not going to do that because it ain't worth the risk.
And is what you just described as far as your schedule and things, is that Dale or the generic farmer? I'll say, does kind of everyone operate that way, or is that just
everyone should, but everyone don't.
As far as scheduling, is that?
Well, if you go to the nutrients of the world, they're going to schedule. We're going to be at your farm on Monday. You don't know what time they're going to be there Monday. They're going to be Tuesday, and what they're going to do if the wind's blowing, they're going to put a drift agent in the tank. It's going to cost you about $10-12 an acre. Or they're going to tweak there's different chemistries you can do. We're gonna put on more gallons, so we're putting on more volume so the wind won't blow it. Or we're gonna put on less, so we cover more acres, because you got 100 acres, we can only carry 80 acres in our tanks. We're gonna cut back, instead of put 15 gallons on, we're gonna put 10, so we can get it in one job. So we're putting less product on, so in my eyes, you're gonna get poor control. So, I mean, there's a lot of things you can change so they can make the schedule. They got young guys in it that don't have the experience, they're just gonna run.
Okay.
So they don't care if they get a fine from MDA comes out, you sprayed the wind, because they find the operator, not the company. So you lose your license,
Oh,
you're
really?
get somebody else to put in there.
Okay.
So, I mean, the company probably gets a fine or no, but it goes on, you have to make the determination of doing the job. I mean, it's just like driving a car. When you get in there, you're responsible for, you hit someone, you do something, you're responsible for it.
Okay.
Where Dale does a little bit different than everybody else. I mean, that's like in the morning, I try to get up early because that's when the wind isn't blowing. So, I mean, the day Dee left, for example, that was a calm day. Dale was scrambling like hell to get out there because I had a full day that I had to go. And I knew the wind was gonna pick up, so I gotta get this done. So I gotta go. I mean, like, you can sit and wait.
Okay. And as far as chemicals go, for you owning and selling chemicals, is there a state license for that? Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, we got a license from the state.
Okay. And is that governed by Laura or somebody else?
I think it's Laura and the MDA.
Okay. And what sort of chemicals do you have on hand at the farm?
I couldn't tell you for sure without looking at the inventory right now. But usually Roundup, atrazine, your normal herbicides.
Okay. Anything else?
Insecticides, there's no. I mean, what do you mean not anything else? I guess I don't understand.
I don't know, because I'm not a farmer.
Okay.
I was hoping you just tell me a list of stuff.
It's your common. You're gonna have Roundup.
Okay.
You're gonna have an atrazine or metallochlor, which is a chemical you put down that stays there for 30, 40 days.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have some kind of an insecticide, to kill the bugs. You're gonna have some surfactants to make it stick to the plant, so it'll go in. Ammonium sulfate, which is dry, which softens the water to make it slipperier, so the chemicals work better.
Okay.
As far as you're not gonna have a lot of stuff sitting there. I mean, this is the time of year that we'd be taking orders, so we get a lot of stuff in the spring, so you have it there. But like now, there's hardly anything in the barn because you don't want to carry inventory because you're paying money on it, or interest on it.
Right. You don't want to buy it till you need it?
Right.
Right. Okay. Okay. Do you have any more question on that stuff? If not, I'm going to move into the weekend.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Tell us what you remember, and I'm referring to the weekend the weekend of April 24th and 25th, right? That weekend. So tell us what you remember from Saturday.
Saturday, I think, is the day that Dee called me all upset that she was done. And we were putting tile in. The night before I was putting tile in, she brought pizza to the field, which went Friday night, I think it was. She brought pizza to the field. We all were tiling. We're talking about what we're going to do the next morning. I was going to go over and try and finish that field of tiling for partridges. She was going to take the game. She wanted me to know if I was going to go, but I says, no, I got to get this done. So I was there putting the tile in. She took her to the game. And then when she called and said, we're done. I was confused, and she didn't talk to me the rest of the day. I think that day, Saturday, I think that's the day Todd and I went down to Perrysburg to pick a truck up and bring back on Saturday. We brought the truck back home. And I think I can't remember if I was spraying or spreading fertilizer, what else. Now I went over to Tom's and checked the cattle that night. I think that's the night we picked up. She went over there and stayed. Saturday night would be, that's the night that we were talking about what she meant by I'm done. And that's when I asked her what she wanted to do. If she just wanted to stay and watch the kids or what she wanted to do. And that's when she started getting a migraine. Well, she got some of her meds out of the cupboard, took them. She had an 8, so I think she said she got pizza or no subs or something. Or, no, breakfast burritos, I think it was from the stand in Tecumseh that day. So I got them out of the cooler, warmed it up, had that to eat. Oh, we laid down, had a movie in, went to sleep in the living room. I got up the next morning, I think it was around 6 or a little before. Ran outside. What the hell did I get? I think I got the Kubota around. I got some chemical out of the barn. I got the JCB out. Pulled out so I could get the trash out of the building. I was load the sprayer out. I went to sprayed the wheat. I think I sprayed wheat first down the road. Come back. I think I had to rinse out. I loaded up with a herbicide for, I think it was burn down. It was burn down next. So loaded up Roundup 2,4-D, ammonium sulfate. I headed up by Onstead. Spray. Then from I went to Brooklyn. I think that's what they called me. I was in Brooklyn, I think. They want to know where Dee was at. I said she's at home on the couch sleeping. And I was puzzled why she was calling me instead of, because she said called her looking for her mom. So I hang up and I tried calling her. I think I called her three or four times before she answered. And she said, I couldn't find mom. And I'm like, well, she's on the couch. I just left her probably an hour or two ago. She says, no, she's not here. I says, okay, well, I'm spraying, but I'll be home in about half an hour. I'll be back. So that's when I finished spraying with the sprayer, come back here at home. I don't remember if I pulled up to the office or pulled up behind it. It seemed like I pulled up behind the house and went in the house. And he wasn't there. She wasn't in the house anywhere. And I walked in the bedroom, looked around. And that's when I noticed that her bags at the end of the bed were gone. And her makeup bag and stuff in the bathroom was gone. And I said, bags are gone. She said, here. She's not there. I'm like, are you sure? She hadn't picked them up. She says, no, the car's here. And I says, well, the number's here too. I says, no, I didn't. And then I went in the bathroom, looked around, and she agreed with me because she said, well, mom's hairspray's gone. Off the counter. Well, hell, I wouldn't know which hairspray she got. Well, Raquel picked out, she took her hairspray. She didn't take hairspray because hers was on counter. So then, I think I'm out, pulled out front to the office. And hindsight now, looking back, this is weirder than weird to me. Dee's been gone an hour to 2 hours. And the kids are here all in a panic and she's left countless times. This is weird. And then in the office going through the security cameras, trying to figure out where's mom's at. He wasn't going through the security cameras. He was deleting off the cameras because he picked his mom up and he wanted no track of them. So that's
if I can, I'm sorry, getting off on a tangent on me. I appreciate the information, but specifically the Saturday, can you describe the source of Dee's anger? What caused her to be upset that day? Can you talk to us about that?
I guess she got into it with one of our drivers over something his girlfriend or his wife or his ex-wife or to-be ex-wife had done. I guess they had a big argument and he quit it. And then she got into an argument with Todd that day over dispatching or who knows what else they were arguing over. He just said he called her out and said, I know what you've been doing. You've been taking this money. I know you've been doing this. And I think she'd been had. She couldn't hide it anymore.
There was, it's been told to us that you had informed some of the employees, however that had happened, that she was taking Xanax and she didn't take kindly to that. Can you describe that to us?
I did what now?
So we were told that you had informed, whether it was Todd or both of them, that Dee was taking Xanax, and that was a portion of her being upset that day.
No, I've never told employees that she was taking Xanax or anything like that.
Okay. The way it was presented to us was, and I'm paraphrasing, Dale went behind her back and told employees she was taking Xanax, and that really hurt her because she didn't want people to know, essentially.
No, I never told anybody that. they all knew that that was it. I never told them that he's taking a Xanax or that stuff.
Okay. So outside of the phone call you had with her at the soccer game, can you go back to that? What happened from then?
I didn't talk to her the rest. She wouldn't answer. I tried calling her several times, but she wouldn't answer her phone. I just finished. I can't remember. We finished putting tile in. I can't remember if I went to the sprayer and sprayed more. But I know I had to take Todd down to. Pretty sure that was the day I took Todd down to Perrysburg to get one of the trucks and bring back home. And I asked Todd on the way, and he said, "Yeah, him and Dee got into it, but he didn't really say much." Other than I called her out, quit today and encourage you. I don't know what the hell am I going to do? Our best driver's coming.
What was your instinct then? Do you think this was going to resolve itself, or what did you think at the time? Is this spat kind of common amongst these people?
I figured, I'm going to have to go out and talk back to work on Monday. This will all blow over and we'll be gone.
Okay.
I mean, I'm gonna go in the house tonight. I'm thinking this. I'm gonna go in the house tonight. I'm gonna get my ass chewed for something that I know nothing that went down. I'm gonna get chewed up because I didn't stick up for her with the argument. So I know I'm gonna lose this battle already, even though she's 100% wrong. So I'm just gonna have to bite my tongue. She argued with Todd. I'm thinking, well, the last thing I need to do is have Todd quit too, because then we'll really be screwed. So I'm thinking, yeah, she's gonna argue, scream, and holler at me tomorrow. I'm gonna have to go. When you come back to work, and same with Todd, and it's gonna be it won't be tomorrow because that's Saturday. So Monday, I'd have to talk to him, get him back, and get it figured out. Another normal week. She'll be gone for a couple days, then she'll be back.
And at that time, thinking about Saturday, with how upset she was over this argument with her employees, essentially, what do you think her mindset was like?
I don't know. I don't know anymore what she was thinking.
Some of the statements you had made in the past were that you were concerned she was abusing her pills and that she may be depressed. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I think she was depressed. I think she was, she was upset and depressed because she didn't know what she's going to do now because, her best driver quit. Todd's probably going to quit. So now what the hell's going to happen with the trucking company? She can't do it. That's why she's saying, we're done. Unbeknownst to me, I didn't know that a lot of it was going on.
Okay.
Because I'm still planting corn or getting crops in mode because, we're April 25th, we're at goat day.
I was going to say, is this a busy time of year in general?
Oh, it's the busiest time of the year.
Okay.
April 25th is when on a calendar, pretty much every year, I start planting corn on April 25th.
Okay. Barring weather or whatever.
Yeah, barring weather.
Okay.
This is the day I start. Before this is too early. This is the day we start.
Okay. And you come home on Saturday, and what happens then?
I come home on Saturday. I see she's at the house. Then I call my son. He's still spraying fertilizer. So I go in the house to see Dee, and she said she's questioning me about. I asked her what's going on, and she says, "I'm going over to my brother's house tonight." I'm like, "Why? It's like 8:00 at night. Why is she going over there now?" Because she's going over there. I'm like, "Okay, I gotta go do chores, check the cattle. I'll just stay with me." No, I want to get her. Okay, so I go over and check the cattle, feed them, talk about planting and stuff. I think I had anhydrous on over there, was doing it. Come in the house, and it seems like I'm at the door. She was coming. I can't remember if she was there when I left or when I came back. But she was there. She didn't say nothing. She's left. I went in the house and tried talking to Dee, and she's all upset. And I says, "Okay, sit down. We'll talk about things." She says, "We're all done. We're all done." It's like, I know you've told me this. I quit. I was like, "Yeah, I heard. I quit. Todd's upset with me." And I says, "Well, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Do you want to just stay home and take care of the kids? What do you want to do?" At first she tried screaming, starting the big fight, and that's when I tried to sit down talking to her. And then she got pissed. She says, "You're using this counselor on me," and I'm just trying not to say anything cynical because it'll make it even worse. And I'm like, "No, honey, just sit down, we'll talk it out and figure it out." And she's talking to me. She's still mad about it. she's going on and telling me how your girlfriend did this or did that. I'm like, honey, that's business. It's not ours. You won't back me up on what I do. I says, honey, I can't back you up on something you're wrong. I can't. I can't tell him what to do with his own life. And I could see that she was starting to get a migraine because I'm over it. You're here and she's looking over here talking, like she's talking to me. I says, you're getting a migraine, ain't you? Yeah. I says, you can't see very good, can you? No. Did you eat? No. Did you eat anything today? No. I says, you have to eat. That's why you're getting a migraine. So I went over and I got some stuff out of the fridge. That's when I started cooking. That's when she said, I got some breakfast burritos at Tecumseh. They had stand or something set up. So she got those out. She got it over and she started to cut it. And I think she cut her finger as she was doing it. I said, stop. I cut it, warmed it up, and we ate some breakfast. She ate a little bit. And I says, are you feeling any better? Yeah, and I could tell she wasn't because her face was sagging just a little bit and her words were a little bit slurred. She said, I got to take one of my pills. So she went over to the counter, went through her pill vials and got one and took it. And we went in, sat down, we're talking, she's still eating one. Says, you got to drink something too because you're getting dehydrated. That's why you're having this problem. And she's like, no, and she's just crying. I just don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I said, just lay down, rest, we'll watch a movie. You know, that's what we did. We laid down and she just, I rubbed her back a little bit. She always wants me to put pressure on her head to make it feel a little better. Rubbed her back, her neck, and she seemed to be getting better. She was talking a little bit, and I thought things were getting better. You know, we went to sleep, and I got up in the morning. She's there, and I just sneak out because, you know, she's been out struggling, and I went to work.
You had previously described this as one of the worst arguments you had had. Can you describe that to us?
It was one of the worst arguments that we've had in a way that she's never said we're all done, and I was confused at what she's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And then after, you know, I get into it more, we're all done. And now, a year and a half later, you know, she knew she couldn't cover the lie anymore.
Mm.
You know, the money that she took, the stuff they've done in the computer, the deleting stuff, they know it's all going to be found now. There's
Okay.
no, she can't hide it.
You had previously stated that you gave her some medicine. Can you?
No, I never gave her any medicine.
Okay. Any idea why you might have said that then?
Yeah, I don't recall saying that because she always got her own medicine out.
Okay. No idea why you might have been mistaken about a different day or something?
Maybe I went and picked medicine out for her at the pharmacy.
Okay, that specific day or another time?
Would probably been another time.
Okay.
I didn't get anything for her that day.
Okay. So I want to be clear, you did not physically give her any medicine? The medicine she took, she obtained herself from wherever?
Yeah.
Okay. And you only saw her take, you saw her take one
I didn't see
pill,
what
or-
she took.
Okay.
No, the living room's here. The medicine she's got in her counter, she went over there, got what she was doing.
You're referring to the counter with the wood over it, kind of by the dining room table?
the bar that's off to, you know, it's got the wine rack in it.
That,
Or
okay,
whatever
we
that
call it the
covered-
same
that
thing.
covered-
You and I stood there together on the phone over
Yeah.
there? Okay.
Yeah, that cupboard right there is where she had all her medicine. Her medicine was in there, and the rest of the medicine, like for the aspirins and normal household stuff, was all over in the kitchen.
Okay.
Cabinet over there. She kept all hers separate over there, so it
Okay.
was away from everything. But I was over by the kitchen part getting, you know, the food warmed up, and she said, "I'm gonna get a pill or whatever she's getting." She went over there, got some out of the cupboard, took it, come back in, sat down, give her the food she ate.
Okay. And then what time do you and her fall asleep?
God, I was thinking it was 11, 12 o'clock probably. I was thinking it was later, but I think it was around 11, 12 o'clock.
Okay. And describe that.
Just lay down and sleep.
Where? Sorry.
In the living room.
Both of you?
Yeah.
Okay. Specifically where on the...
On the floor.
Okay. Is that common?
Yeah.
Okay. How often do you sleep on the living room floor?
I sleep about every day.
Oh, really? Okay. Why is that?
We always did in our old house. We always just lay in front of the TV and watch TV and lay down on the floor and slept.
Okay. And you slept there all night, each of you?
Yeah.
Okay. And then what time did you wake up?
It was around 6 o'clock.
And what's a normal morning for you? What do you, as in great detail as you can tell me, what do you do when you wake up?
When I get up, I'll get my clothes on, usually brush my teeth, grab my watch, my phone, get dressed, and take my pill. I take one pill every morning, and I head out from off.
Okay, now that is in general, or that's what happened that Sunday morning?
That should have been what happened that day too. So
Okay.
every morning, get up,
And how long does that process take you?
10, 15. All that morning, I think I went downstairs because I just put them transplants. We did up all the, remember seeing the transplants downstairs? Or not? Or you guys weren't there.
What's a transplant, sorry?
We started vegetables and, you know,
Ah, yeah, I
trays.
see those, okay.
We had some trays downstairs, and I think the day before, I just put the seeds in. I think I went down that morning, I had to water before I left. So I would have ran downstairs, put water in the transplants. I probably went downstairs twice. Carrying a can of water down, watered the transplants, come up, grab my stuff, my clothes on, and out I went.
Okay, so I want to start you over really slow. So you wake up, you're on the floor, and what's the first thing you do?
I'll get up and walk over, take my bill, and start getting my clothes on because my uniforms are in the garage.
Okay,
So I'll get up, I'll go over, get a glass of water. I try to do it every morning. First thing I do is take my bill, I forget. Get that out, take my bill, go in the garage, pick the uniforms up off the floor, because the ones I took off the night before were on the floor, pick them up, carry them out in the garage, get my new uniforms out, come in, put them on, before I go in the bedroom, brush my teeth, go back out, and so I'll have to grab my phones and my watch. This is my routine I do every day.
okay,
And then on the counter, I always make myself notes of what I need to do for the day. I don't have my paper, but at that day, I'm sure I had a note where I was supposed to go spray and what I needed to do so that I didn't forget anything. That would have been set right in that corner where we talked on the phone. I looked at that quick. I would have went out the back door, got in the Kubota or the Gator. Usually I make a circle around the back of the farm, and what I'm doing is I go out and I'm looking at the grass. If there's a lot of dew on the grass while I'm driving, I'll stick my hand out, my hand's all wet. I know I've got to put different stuff in the tank. If it's dry, I put so many different additives in. You know, it's something I do. I'll drive around, get the sprayer started, I'll go back, I'll go get the JCB out of the barn. If I have a cooler for lunch, I'll run back in the house, grab it out of the walk-in, take it with me. Then I'll go out, start loading up the sprayer.
do you typically shower in the morning? No, you shower in the evening, then I presume?
Usually at night before I go to bed.
Okay, so I want to make sure I'm clear. You wake up, take a pill, grab your clothes grab a glass of water, grab your clothes in the garage, come into the bedroom, maybe the bathroom to brush your teeth and or get dressed.
I get dressed out in the room or out in the kitchen part.
Okay, get dressed and or just in the house. I guess it's irrelevant. And then you grab your phone, your watch, and then do you eat any breakfast in the morning, or are you ready to leave?
No, I'm ready to leave. I don't eat breakfast.
Okay, so specifically on that Sunday morning, what happens from that? You're dressed, you take you have your phone or your watch. What do you do next?
If I haven't brushed my teeth, I got my phone, I'll go out the door and I gotta go check the dogs.
Which I know you got a bunch of doors back there. Which door is common for you?
I go whichever one I'm
Okay.
closest to, it don't matter.
Okay.
So sometimes I go out the back sliding door, sometimes I go out, usually I try to go out through the garage
Okay.
or the laundry room. I mean, it just, wherever I park the Kubota, where, you know, if I've got to feed the dogs, first thing I'll go through the garage because I got to grab two cans of dog food. Or if I don't have any dog food, I got to go out to another shop to get it, to take it. So I mean, it's just,
Okay. And I apologize. So you leave out through whatever door, and what's the first thing you do?
first thing I'll do is I'll go, right now I do let the dogs out, feed them, then I'll get in the Kubota. That day I think I drove around, we have to see if there's any dew on it. Went out, start the sprayer up, you know, check the oil stuff on it. Then hopefully I remember to take my list that was on the counter. If I don't, I gotta go grab the list of where I've gotta go spray, to see what chemistry I put in, where's it gotta go.
Okay.
So that day, you know, I had to finish the week on my list.
And how many acres? How many did you spray?
I have to look at my book to sure, but I think it was only 10. It took me more time to get around, get down there than it did to the field.
Okay. How long does 10 acres normally take you?
10 minutes.
Okay.
Something takes me longer than holding driving there than what down I drive in, did the wheat, come back. It seemed like I had to flush and rinse, so I gotta go down the barn 3 times with water, pull out back, unload, you know, spray it through the booms, rinse the booms out 3 times. I'll go back in. Look and see if I gotta have any other chemistry, and then I'll take either the loader, the JCB, or Kubota, the front buildings where we keep the chemicals in the barn there. I keep some back where I load, but all the small stuff that's in little jugs or little things we keep up by the office. So if somebody shows up to buy some, we just go, the girls can go by the barn and just get a jug out, so they have to come out to the barn.
Okay.
So I'll go up there and get what I need for all my jobs, put them in the back of the Kubota, drive back to the barn, or if it's more than a fit in the Kubota, I'll take the JCB up there, forklift, and bring a whole pallet out. So that morning, I think I made 2 or 3 trips with the Kubota, getting different jugs because different batches of the load. But it's all on my sheet. I write everything down on my sheets.
Okay.
So my log sheets, I mean, if you ask what time I went, we can go get my sheet and it tells what time I loaded in the barn, what time I got to when I'm back, because I'm loading the next one up. I write down the gallons and everything I put in the tank in the barn. And then when I do it in the sprayer, I write down in the sprayer when I leave the field, I try to write down, the acres I did and whose name it is. So I'm trying to double up so I don't miss anything.
Right.
When I'm spraying. So then I've got those 2.
Okay. So you walk into the house, you go to feed the dogs, and what's the next thing you do?
I would have got in the Kubota and drove her home to the sprayer.
And you gotta talk city to me. When you say Kubota, what are you referring to?
The 4-wheel little, what would you call it? A little ATV.
Okay.
With the
like a side-by-side with a little cargo area?
Yeah, it's called
Okay.
Kubota.
And where is that normally parked?
It's usually parked out by the dogs or right behind the garage.
Okay. And
Depends on where it is at that night.
And you get in that, and where do you go from there?
That morning I would have drove around, because I was spraying weed, I would have drove around the boundary of the farm. And I stick my hand out and the grass is up, so I'll feel the grass to see if there's dew on it or what it is.
Okay. And then what?
Then I go to the sprayer and I start it, and I'll check the oil and start it up so it's warming up, building air.
Okay.
And that's when I'll look at my list of what I've got to load.
Okay. And what happened from there?
I loaded it up and went to spray that. Then I come back and I had to rinse out. I load it up again. Went up to spray that.
Okay.
And then I loaded up enough to do, I loaded up a 100-acre batch, so I had enough to do mine. And then I went up and did, I had a sprayer in Brooklyn.
Okay.
And then I come back.
And can you describe to us what you did with the JCB that morning?
I would have pulled up, that was, I pulled it out of the barn, I pulled it around by the house. Oh, and I think it was used just for trash that day. And I had to put the forks on when I pulled out back, and I had to move, there was a pallet that I had to move ammonium sulfate into the barn, I think it was.
Okay.
But usually I use the bucket, I'm dumping 2.5 gallon jugs. So all that trash goes in the bucket, I take it out to the burn pile.
Okay. You said you pulled it up to the house. Can you describe that to us?
I think I pulled up behind the house. I think I had to run in and grab my damn sheet, my load sheet. I don't remember for sure. But I know I took the Kubota around. It was out, the dry sprayer was started, and I come and got the JCB, the loader, pulled around by the house. And I run in and I had to grab something out of the house. And I run back out, got the loader, back up,
Okay.
went around, put the forks on it.
And what did you see in the house when you had run back in there with the JCB?
Didn't see anything other than the house. Dee was still sleeping.
Okay. She's still asleep. And at this point, this seems like a silly question. Was anyone else on the property or in the house?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
I mean,
And
this is still probably about 6:30.
that was my next question. How long had it been?
I think
Okay.
it's about 6:30 probably when I finally get to that point. I mean, maybe close 6:30, 7. I mean, you got time running around, moving. Had to start the sprayer up.
Mm-hmm.
When it's running, I'm getting chemical out. Then go grab the other loader, pull it out there, move a pallet with forks.
Okay. Do you have that map I gave you?
Yeah.
This is mainly to help me, just because I don't talk farm talk. When you say you leave the house, you go and just show me, I think I know, but show me where the dogs are.
Dog here.
Okay, and then you jump in the Kubota?
Kubota's usually sitting over here by the house.
Okay,
I jumped in it back there and pulled around this way. I usually drive around through here, feel the grass.
that was going to ask you which field you're referring to.
I usually come around through here to get through the grass for
Okay,
in the morning, or I come around through here, wherever, just
okay,
see how wet it is.
okay. And is that common for the farmers to check the grass each morning, or that's just part of what you do so you know what you got to do?
It's for me, that's my routine.
Okay, okay. And then where was the sprayer parked that
Sprayer
morning?
being a load barn.
Okay. and you start it and leave it there while you're loading everything else up. You said it builds up air. Is that so? Like literal air to spray? Literally?
Well, it's suspension. Suspension goes up, builds air.
Once you start it, okay. And where was the JCB part?
JCB's inside the barn here.
Okay. And you said you pulled it up to the house. Can you show
I
me?
would have pulled out here and pulled around this way and pulled up over here. Went to grab what I needed in the house, go back out, went back down through and out here, get stuff out of the barn, to move it over here.
Okay. Do you mind if I make some notes on here with you? Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
So you said this is the Kubota?
Yep.
Could you just draw an X where the Kubota was?
I think the Kubota's in here.
You got a better pen there, partner?
Maybe it's blue.
If you scribble that one, it might work. We're failing on all fronts here, partner.
Maybe it's the paper.
That's the paper, it's the ink, I won't let it roll.
There we go. And then, where is if you could mark the sprayer, is it not on this paper? That
That's
mark?
the paper, it's
Okay.
marked over here.
And where is the JCB part? In the
JCB's in here.
And then could you just draw an X on there for me? I just want to make sure I understand. Different people call the buildings different things, so I
Yeah,
want
this
to
is
make
the
sure.
fertilizer barn.
Okay. What do they call the dry barn? What is that?
This is the dry fertilizer barn.
Oh, okay. And then there's a wet barn? Does that make sense? To you?
The load barn's over here.
That's what I mean.
Liquids.
Different people.
Well, see, because
Okay.
all the dike, all the tanks are here, liquids all over here.
Okay. And then you pull onto the JCB, and can you show me where you parked it behind the house?
I would have pulled up here.
Okay. Can you mark that for me?
Yeah, I pulled up probably about in here.
Okay. And then where do you go from there?
Where do I go from here?
Yeah.
Then I'll come back out, come around through here to get stuff out of the barns, and take it in here, park the stuff out here.
Okay. And then what happens after that?
What do you mean?
You drive the JCB over there, and you're here in the JCB, and then what happens?
I load the sprayer and go spray.
Okay. And how many minutes do you think from when you were in the house to when you got over here and left in the sprayer, how many minutes is that, if you had to guess, that Sunday morning?
Before I left with the sprayer?
Correct.
Boy, I have to look at my book. It'll tell me when I was loaded, what time.
If you had to guess, do you think is this an hour process?
It's just half an hour, 45 minutes.
Okay.
Because
And
I'm trying to remember if I had to rinse before I loaded the weed spray out, or if I rinsed. I don't remember without looking at my book what I had. Did you have copies of what I had in my book?
not with me, no. I don't believe so.
See, because I keep that book in there on the shelf. So if I sprayed atrazine, say, with it yesterday, now I'm going out there and I got sprayed weed. I want to look at that book. I had atrazine there. Oh, I cannot spray weed with atrazine.
I see.
So now I'm gonna have to rinse out. So now I got to rinse
Those
out.
are the papers that you gave me.
Yeah,
We were out there one day.
yeah. They would have ran over the Hummer.
I was in took the word on my book.
Yeah.
Hummer. Do you guess what his nickname is now? Hummer.
Yeah, that's what we call it.
You still haven't got that fixed. Still haven't got fixed.
Oh, really?
The conservator took it. They won't let me have to fix it.
Hmm.
That's a whole other story, but no. I mean, without looking at the book, I can't tell you if I had to come out and rinse. If I had to rinse, it'd be an hour. If I didn't rinse out, I'm probably looking at half an hour, 45 minutes. Time I get all the chemicals. The sprayer's in here. JCB's here. I come up here, got some stuff out of the building up front here. Took back. Measured it out because it's in ounces, so it's a little bottle, so you gotta really measure it out, right? Put it in the sprayer, and then I would have pulled out. So
Okay.
I mean, it should be on the camera too, because the camera on the corner of the barn will show me pulling it out of the sprayer.
Okay. And specifically with the JCB, I think this is one of those questions I have to ask us out there. So the Justice for D crew, I shouldn't say that. At the time, I think the adult children, perhaps Parker, had seen the JCB tracks, and that's why they had asked you why you pull up to the house. Is that accurate?
They didn't ask me, no.
That's
Did they ask me?
correct.
They didn't ask me when I pulled up to the house.
Oh, okay.
They did.
Okay, that was understanding, because the JCB tracks were where the Hummer was parked. Is that news to you?
News to me, the Hummer was parked out front.
Yeah, so,
Well, then I pulled the Hummer back around behind the house later that day, and I pulled it up next to the grass where I always park it.
right. So when they had seen the Hummer, you already moved it back to the house, and the JCB tracks were underneath it.
Oh, probably,
Okay.
probably.
And that's from when you pulled up to the house?
Yeah.
Okay,
I pulled
in the
up-
JCB.
Yeah, the JCB, I pulled up there. the Hummer was out front. I never leave anything out front because I don't want somebody messing with me. We leave keys and everything.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I jumped in the Hummer, pulled it back around to the house, and I pulled it over next to the grass and parked it.
In the normal spot, essentially.
Well, normal spots in the garage, but we'd been parking it outside because I think she had something else in the garage with her caddy, or she parked in the middle with her caddy. So I just pulled it over next to the grass, so it's out of the way, because the rest of the area there is where the rest of us park. I mean,
Normal
I
parking.
park my
Yeah.
pickups there. Whoever pulls in, that's where they park.
Okay. So you had got in the JCB, pulled back up to the house because you forgot your sheet or something, and you get back in it and you go back to the barn and load up the sprayer.
Right.
And when you're in the house, she's sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. So how did the Hummer get from behind the house to the office?
I don't know. I mean, that morning,
Yeah.
I don't know. It was there when I came back. That's where Kel and all them seen up front.
Okay. Where was it when you left?
When I left, it was out my house. I think. And was it out front? I don't remember.
Okay.
Seeing the Hummer. I mean, it's blocked. I don't
Okay.
remember it. But
Okay.
I do remember driving it from the front of the office and parking it back behind the house because we never leave anything out by the road.
Okay. So it was behind the house when you left?
I don't remember. I don't. I mean,
Okay.
Well, I guess easier when you left to go to, or whatever.
I don't-
Was it parked in front of the,
I don't remember seeing it up there. I don't.
Okay.
I mean, I don't remember it sitting up there. It's one of those things I didn't look that way. I mean, I could tell you where every piece of farm machinery is. I can't tell you where the Hummer's at. It's just not something that I'm paying attention to, I guess.
Okay. So then you get in a sprayer and you go in and you spray. You said, remind me, I'm sorry, how many acres? You said 10?
I think it was 10.
10 acres?
I mean, you can look at the book and I'll have that.
Okay. And you come back, and then what happens?
I think I had to flush out to go to the next spray job. So then I would probably jumped in the Kubota again and pulled out front, or if I had enough, I don't remember if I had the chemistry in the barn or not.
Okay.
I would load it up. If I had to rinse out, I'd pull it back 3 times and rinsed out, and pull back in, loaded, and went to the next job.
And the next stop was, remind me, I'm sorry, you were going to, was it towards Brooklyn? I'm sorry, okay. And then where do you go from there?
Then I went to Brooklyn.
Okay. And then what happens then?
That's when the me asked me where do you live.
Okay. And what do you do after that?
I headed back to the house when they got done spraying.
Okay. And who's there when you get home?
The kids were there.
The kids meeting, I'm sorry, please.
Then, I think that was it. I think it was there.
Okay. And you said they're in the office, and what are they doing?
They're going through the computers, looking for the security tapes or cameras.
Okay.
Which
And
I was dumbfounded they even had the codes to get into it,
yeah.
and they did.
And when you accessed the cameras, what were you looking for?
I never accessed them in the office. I didn't have the code to get into it.
Yeah. When you did access the cameras, what were you looking for? I know it's a silly question, but
I was looking to see, what was going on that morning or where everything moved, and I didn't look at anything other than there because they had me locked out. I couldn't get into it.
okay. Well, there's absolutely no doubt you accessed the cameras that morning. I'm just asking you what you were looking for. It's a silly. We're trying to remove the sheriff's department, so we just need you to explain everything, as silly as it sounds,
I mean, they were looking to see if what cars went by, they would have picked me up.
Okay, and that's what you did when you accessed them?
I didn't access them. I already had them on the screen.
Dale, we promised to be honest with each other.
I didn't look.
Just listen. There's absolutely no doubt you accessed the cameras. If you were just looking for your wife, then just say you're just looking for your wife. I don't
I
understand.
was looking for my wife, but I didn't access the security cameras that morning.
you have access to them on your phone, correct?
Yes, if it'll work, and it would not work.
Okay, so when you tried to access the cameras, what were you doing?
I was looking to see who was in the office, if Dee was on the cameras.
Okay, see, it's just looking for Dee. That's all I was trying to get to.
Yeah, looking for Dee. See where she's at, but I already figured she's in the house. But
Okay, and that's specifically from your phone. That's what you're attempting to do, right?
right.
Okay, and is that I think it's called Milestone?
Mm-hmm.
Milestone.
Milestone,
Is that an app you typically have problems with? I'm not familiar with it. Is it?
Yeah, it's horrible.
Okay. What are you supposed to be able to do from the app?
You're supposed to be able to see the cameras and see what's going on in all the cameras.
Okay. And how often would you try to use it?
I would try to look at it all on and off. every other day or once a week or something, I'd look at it.
And what percentage of the time do you think it works?
Maybe 5-10%.
It's not too good of a track record.
No, I mean, if you're in the office and you want to look at the camera system when you're in the office, it'll work. If you're in the house, it'll work. If you're anywhere else, it don't work.
Okay.
Because you got to have internet access, I guess. But with your phone, you shouldn't have to, and it don't work.
And do you have any other issues with your phone, or specifically with that app? Do you think it's the application itself?
Oh, I don't know. Your phone's always had a glitch in them. A lot of stuff don't work,
But by and large, it's this application that gives you issues. Okay. Do you pretty much carry your phone with you at all times?
most of the time.
Okay. Specifically that Sunday, you had your phone with you all day?
I'm pretty sure I had it with me all day.
Okay.
The only time you know is if you drop it somewhere or you're backtracking trying to find it.
Yeah, you and me both. And that Sunday, do you remember about what time called you to ask where Dee was?
I was thinking it was around 9 o'clock or 9:30.
Okay. And until that point, as far as you knew, she was at home, right? Okay. That was the
I
first.
think I texted her telling her that I was spraying so that she would know where I was at.
Okay. But until then, things are normal. You don't know any different, right? Essentially. Okay. And then, what were you doing? Why did you access the Cadillac that morning? What did you go into the Cadillac for in the garage?
Access the Cadillac for. I don't remember getting in the Cadillac that morning. I don't remember getting in the Cadillac that morning.
You accessed the Cadillac. Do you have any idea why you would have done that?
No, I didn't get in the Cadillac that morning. What would I get in it for?
I'm not
Unless
sure.
there was something in it, I had to get out of the car.
I'm not sure.
If I opened the door and got it out, but I didn't. I wouldn't have got in it for anything. She's got the key. I don't even have the key.
I'm not saying you drove it. I'm just saying you accessed it for some reason. You don't recall why.
So I don't access it. Mean I got in it? You mean? Or
I-
did I look at it on my app on my phone?
I'm not certain what you did physically with the vehicle, but you had access to the car.
No, because I probably looked on my phone to see where it was at.
Okay.
That would be accessing it.
Okay. I'm not familiar with what you can do with that.
Yeah,
So
the OnStar. I mean, I hit the OnStar button on my phone that tells me where it's at.
okay.
Tell us about that. How
Yeah,
does
tell
that
us
work?
about that. I'm not familiar with that.
And just the OnStar. I mean, you got the OnStar app on your phone. You can start your car. You can lock it. You can do it with your phone.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I just look and hit the button and tell me where the car's at. It's in the garage.
Okay. And for what purpose were you doing that morning?
Well, if they told me Mom's not there, I'm going to see if the car's there.
Okay. So you would have accessed that app and it tells you where the car is, and that's why you would have done it to see where she was.
Yeah, see if
Right.
the car's home, well, she got to be home.
Okay. And what about when you tried to locate her iPhone? For what purpose was that?
See where she's at.
Same thing.
I think everybody was trying to find her iPhone.
Okay. Okay. And it had been described to us that when things weren't comfortable between the two of you, she didn't like you knowing where she was. Did she know you had access to those things at the time?
I think so.
Was that ever a point of contention in recent times? We know overall there had been disagreements about that. What about leading up to this incident?
No. Over it.
Okay.
I mean, she knew where I was at. I mean, she could access my phone.
Okay.
I mean, it's kind of a safety deal. If she can't get a hold of me, she can find my phone to see where I'm at if I'm hurt, in the field. Same with her, if you can find her.
Okay. Do you have any more questions about Sunday?
No, I don't think so. I think we covered it.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Dale, there's absolutely no doubt that Dee's dead. Absolutely no doubt. Okay. And for me personally, I think it's challenging because the Justice for Dee crew, they all want everybody to believe that you killed her. Right? And I don't think that's the case. I don't know if she was too depressed to carry on. The scene was going to crush her. I don't know if she overdosed on pills. I don't know if she had a heart attack and died. I'm not sure. You're the only person that can fill that in. There's absolutely no doubt that she died that day at the farm. What happened that morning? Just hear me out. Just hear me out. Well, what happened that morning? You're the only person that can paint that picture. You know what I mean? And what I don't want to happen, I don't want people to think that you're this big monster. You're the only person that can fill in this story. I mean, we're at a point where when we find the body, there's gonna be no forensics there. We're not gonna be able to tell what's in her system, we're not gonna be able to look at her bone structure, we're not gonna be able to determine the cause of death. You know what I mean? You're the only person that can fill that in. So I think personally, no one cares my opinion, but I don't think you killed your wife. But there's no doubt that she's dead. And you're the only person that can tell us what happened that morning. So I can understand that if your wife was coming home on Saturday to tell you that things were over and everyone, people knew she's coming over to tell you that, and you wake up and she's dead, I can understand why that would be frightening and you might do something, right? But I don't think you killed her. But you are the only person that can tell us what happened on Sunday morning.
I told you everything that's happened on Sunday
No,
morning.
Dale, that's not the truth. There's actually no doubt that she's dead. There's actually no doubt she died there at the farm. There's no doubt.
No, I don't believe that.
There's actually no doubt. This is a situation where you can tell us what happened that morning. If you were scared and moved her somewhere, if she overdosed, if she had a heart attack, you're the only person that can tell us that information. No one else can provide us that. And at this point, I think you're backed into a corner because you did something perhaps because you were scared and didn't want to do it at that time. But now you've got the conservators after you. Well, now revealing what really happened is just going to make them go away. And once we show that she died of whatever, because I don't think it's murder, I really don't. But once you show she died of whatever, all that stuff stops. Right? I don't think
When
it's.
she shows up, the thing stops.
That's not, you and I both know it's not the truth. You and I both know it's not the truth. There's absolutely no
I'm
doubt.
not giving up on my wife, so we'll say what you want.
Well, here's the kicker, Dale. The reason we're asking a lot of these questions about when you accessed what on your phone and did things, and you're telling us it's looking for your wife, correct?
Correct.
Okay. You did all of those things before you even learned that she was missing.
Before she's missing?
Yes, that you learned she's missing. So all these things you're accessing on your phone to look for your wife occurred before
So if I
you would have even learned that she
So
was
if I
missing.
look at my phone to see if the car's still home when I'm in the sprayer, whoop-de-doo, I'm seeing if my wife is still home. Yeah, so. If I look at the camera system to see if anybody's in the office and if it works that time, so. Why?
Well, the timing tells us, and like he said, I mean, he said to you initially, we're not going to lie to you. Okay,
I'm being
we
totally
know,
honest with you.
we know she
lies
died.
to.
There's 100%, we know without a doubt, 100% she died in that house, that she was dead in that house. What caused that death? You're
I don't
the.
agree with that, so.
Well, it's the
Yeah, you promise not to lie to me, I'm not lying to you.
I'm not lying to you.
Okay, there's absolutely no doubt she was dead in that house. There is absolutely no doubt. No doubt whatsoever.
I disagree.
That I'm sorry for being dishonest with me. There is no doubt that she was dead in that house. You're the only person that can tell us what happened that morning.
I told you what happened that morning.
You have not, I'm sorry. As I said, I don't know if she overdosed on pills, if she was depressed and killed herself on purpose, if it was an accident, I have no idea. Those are just my theories. I can't say that happened because I wasn't there. I don't know what was going through her mind. I have no idea. There's absolutely no doubt that she was dead in that house that day, that she died there. No doubt. That's not up for question.
Well, that's not the truth, so. If you want to say what you want, that's not the truth.
I'm not saying this is something you planned on. It wasn't. I think you woke up and discovered this, but I don't know. I wasn't there.
And I've told you.
The challenge we have now is the people with the loudest voice are going to be the ones that are hurt, and I don't want that. Right? I mean, ultimately, you have, unfortunately, what's left of your business and your daughter to look after, and they're not going to make that any easier on you. And I'm sorry it's happening. I don't have any control of them. I've been forthright with you. I wish that wasn't occurring. But as soon as we clear this up, all that stuff goes away.
You can look at me and ask me over again. My wife did not die in the house that day. She's alive, wherever she's
That's
at.
not the truth. There's absolutely no doubt. There's absolutely no doubt she died in the house that day.
Until you're blue in the face.
And
It's
we're
not
not sharing, we're obviously not sharing all the evidence we have with you at this time,
That's
but that we wouldn't make a bold statement like we know that she died in that house. If it
She's
was
not,
true.
she didn't die in the house, and she's not dead, so I don't know what you keep harping all you want. But
I'm not harping, Bill. I'm being completely honest with you.
Well, I'm being completely honest too.
Do you have any? Do you have any reason to believe that I would lie? Why would I be?
We're not really sharing that at this point.
I don't know why you would, but I told you the truth, so. And I'm sticking to my story, because that's what happened.
There's absolutely no doubt, Dale. There is no doubt.
Well,
If
there's
you had done something to hide the body because you're afraid it's going to happen, I can understand that, and we can work with that. But the alternative is that she's dead and that you're the only person that's there. I don't think you killed your wife, but you are the only person that can tell me
I
that
didn't
story.
kill my wife because she's not dead.
How do you guys know she's dead?
I'm not going to discuss our evidence with you, sir. He and I both know that she's dead. I'm giving him an opportunity where we can clear all this up today.
You can basically write the story how you want it. Okay. I mean,
Seriously.
You were the only one there, and she was there, and she's not going to be telling her story.
You could drive me to the body right now, and wherever she is, I'm not going to get an ounce of forensic evidence from her. I can't tell what she took. I can't tell if there's any bone. None of that evidence is there. You were the only person that can tell us what happened that morning.
It's a lot different freaking out and disposing of a body than it is to murder somebody. It's two totally different things, okay? If we continue down this road, if we continue doing this, it's painting the picture that when we know what we know and the evidence that we have, if you're not understanding that, telling us actually what happened, then the picture gets painted a lot worse. Because now it looks like you're intentionally being dishonest. And why would you intentionally be dishonest? Because maybe something worse happened. And if that's the case, that's fine. But we're telling you here that there's a simpler road to go. And if you dispose of her body, I couldn't imagine waking up and having my wife deceased. I couldn't imagine it. Had everybody known that she was saying, that's it, I'm getting divorced, all this stuff, no one's going to believe you. We understand that. No one's going to believe that, oh no, she just happened to die from an overdose or something like that. You'd probably freak out, okay? That's what we believe happened. We've been dealing with this case for a long time. That's what we believe happened. Only you can tell us what the truth is. Otherwise, this picture of you as the murderous monster that everybody's painting, appears to be true. Do you understand what I'm saying? All we're looking for.
I hear what you're saying, but I didn't do anything about it.
You came in here today with the same plan I did, and that was to clear this up.
Yeah.
Wait, we want to put an end to all this. You want us to say that you didn't kill her, right?
I didn't kill her, and I don't know where her body's at.
You want us to say you want us to say you didn't kill her, right? No one cares about my opinion. They only care what I can prove. The only way to show that you didn't kill her is to show that she did die of natural causes or overdose or whatever happened that morning. You're the only person that can tell me. You're the only person that can tell me that. The only way I can say that is if you help us. You are the only way we're going to put this to rest.
And that's why I'm here today.
Then all I'm asking for is your cooperation.
I've told you.
Because clearing it up today is going to get rid of all the other nonsense and all the other noise. They're making you out to be this monster that I don't think you are. But at the end of the day, you still have a daughter to look out for, and you still have what's left of your business, which is sad that you've taken to that.
Yeah,
I couldn't agree with you more. But this is how we put it all to end. This is it. This is your chance to explain whatever you did out of whatever it was fear, if it was concern, whatever it was that Sunday morning.
What do I do, Larry? I've told him everything I know. So.
That's not the truth. This is his chance to paint the picture what happened Sunday morning.
So they didn't do it.
You're not being. I know you didn't kill her.
I didn't kill her. I didn't do anything to her, guys.
I'm not saying.
I didn't do anything. So.
Well, Dale, that's not the truth.
It is the truth.
There's absolutely no doubt that you did something with her that morning. Absolutely no doubt.
No, there isn't.
Absolutely no doubt. You're the only person that can paint the picture of what happened that morning. No one else can do that.
Picture.
The alternative is that the world and everyone else thinks it, because no one cares what I think.
I don't care what the world thinks, because deep inside it, I know the truth. And if you want to listen to the truth, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine too. But I have done nothing to Dee.
You are the only person that knows 100% of the truth. We're only 80% of the way there, and you're the only person that gave us the other 20%. You're the only one that can provide that to us.
You're looking in the wrong place.
I'm not saying you did anything wrong, Dale. Please don't misunderstand me. I'm saying the opposite.
No, you're trying to say that I did something to my wife, and I did not.
I think you woke up and whatever was done was done.
No.
That's what I think. But you're the only person that can provide us to that.
No, I did not.
Do you think she overdosed intentionally? Was it an overdose? Do you think it was done on accident?
She's not dead. She's not dead. She's sitting back somewhere watching us and laughing at me.
That's not the truth, Dale. You're being dishonest.
I'm not being dishonest.
There's absolutely no doubt that she's dead. You and I both know that.
No. I won't accept that she's dead. I won't. She's not.
Dale, this is your opportunity to tell us what happened on Sunday. When you call us in 6 weeks or 2 months, 3, 4 months on the road, this is your time to set the record straight.
Guys, I've told you. I guess, Larry, we're done, I guess. I don't know what else to say.
Must be.
I mean, there's nothing else to say, guys. She's not dead. You're looking at the wrong place and you're looking at the wrong guy. The guy you need to be looking at is down the road, her brother. Dave.
That's not the truth.
Knows where she's at.
That's not the truth. I really wish you would help me clear this up, Dale.
I really wish you guys would start looking for her instead of trying to point the finger at me, because I didn't.
I'm not saying anything wrong. I'm saying the
I
opposite.
heard you saying I did something with my wife.
I'm saying
It's not right to dispose of something that had
But
already
it's not
happened.
murder.
But it's not murder.
It's definitely not murder.
So, I guess we're done, Larry.
Okay.
All right, guys. Anything else?
If he's done, he's done.
Yeah. Yes. You guys have a good Christmas.
Thank you, you too.
Dee Warner disappeared in Lenawee County between the evening of April 24th and the morning of April 25th, 2021, after prosecutors said she planned to talk with Dale Warner about divorce and selling the family businesses. Investigators spent years reviewing property searches, phone and vehicle data, surveillance, financial records, and body camera contacts. Michigan State Police arrested Dale in November of 2023, before Dee had been found. In August of 2024, her remains were discovered inside a sealed fertilizer tank on Warner property. She was identified through dental records, and her death was ruled a homicide. At trial, prosecutors said Dee had been found in pajamas, wrapped in a tarp, with duct tape over her face and neck. They argued the medical evidence showed strangulation and blunt force trauma, and that the tank had been rewelded to hide her body. The defense said the case relied on assumptions and lacked direct proof that Dale killed Dee, but the jury found him guilty of second-degree murder and tampering with evidence. In May of 2026, Dale Warner received 31 to 60 years for murder, plus 17 months to 10 years for tampering, served consecutively. The sentence could not undo Dee's death, but it ended the case with accountability. If you found this video informative, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel, as it really helps support our work and allows us to continue covering important stories like this one. Thank you.